Hey guys, how's it going? Hoping you're having a great day. Just figured we'd hop back in with some more Hades. Honestly, last time we were able to forge a bond with Meg. I think that's right where we ended the stream. We've been getting some good escape attempts. I believe last stream we actually managed to get every run to be a successful one, which is really nice. But we're also getting up in heat levels to the point where I'm not actually sure I'll be able to keep doing that. But from here on out, I think the main goal is we're trying to raise our bond levels with the Olympians, because according to my little quest slash prophecy log in the room there, I remember it was saying that that was kind of necessary. We need to do that to see if we can't put Persephone's plan into action. So figured we'd do that, just kind of see what happens. For now, I think maybe we should just keep using the weapons. I was kind of at first I was thinking I wasn't going to raise my heat levels evenly, and then I kind of was. I'm really not sure what the proper decision here is. But here, let's start out with maybe something new. That's a little tough to know. We do need to get towards that prophecy for having equipped everything at least once. The hard part is there's some keepsakes here that I just don't think I'll use. Like, I've been trying some other stuff. Like, for example, the Myrmidon Bracer I think would be really, really bad. Despite it being, Achilles' quote-unquote weapon, I think it'd be really bad on a non-ranged weapon. But on a ranged weapon, I think you're more likely to be facing enemies. So maybe we'll try that. But we'll see. But for now, I'm just going to start with the coin purse, because on the gun, I really like to get the rockets. So I'd rather not do my usual, like, usually on a melee weapon, I'll start out with Aphrodite. Because I think her basic attack debuff, consistently applying weak, is one of the best in the game. But here we need to add one more heat gauge. Lately we've been doing an extra technique on the first boss, and then we did the 9-minute time limit, which honestly hasn't been a huge issue. 7 minutes per rank would be cutting it a little bit closer. But we'll see. I mean, for now, what I think I might actually do, and this might result in me dying, honestly, but I want to try this. And this will just add an extra boss pattern not only to our first floor boss, but it'll add it to the Hydra, which is kind of got my interest because of the bosses. Like, I really don't like fighting Theseus and the Minotaur, but I think that the Hydra is definitely a little bit tricky sometimes. So we'll see. But let's see what boons we get. We did actually. If I start with the rocket again, I think I might like. Okay, fair enough. Your special deals 300 base damage. Okay, so that's triple damage special. And that's the only one here that we haven't tried. That is a little bit dangerous, though, because you have to consider when it is like the Mortar Strike, it's such a big area. I actually really like Delta Chamber. Seeking Fire is interesting, too, but never having to reload. We'll start with this. And then, obviously, if we see any other, any other Daedalus Hammer perks, that's always, like, the first priority for me. I just think they're so good, but here we're just planning on trying to honestly farm out some Nectar, give them to the Olympians. I don't know if we need to do it instantly. Last time I think I mentioned I'd initially been thinking, oh, maybe I need to give it to, like, Zeus and Demeter, because if any god, we need to fix relationships before, Persephone can be, the fact that she's in the underworld can really be revealed. It's surely got to be her mother, who's, been super, super upset. It's practically always been snowing on the surface when we've been up there. So clearly that's got to be something here. I don't know if we're going to go for an auto attack build or if we're going to go for a special build. Whenever we get rockets, it's an automatic special build. Without rockets, I'm really not sure. I don't think we need... We only have one Nectar at the moment. I don't think we need to give one to Chaos. We've already given one to Chaos to get the keepsake. But let's see what happens. So move speed for extra gold. Shorter dash for extra lax life. Or, I would like this for 33% attack damage, but I really don't like the losing health when you attack, unless we have something reliable. Our Mortar Strike isn't super unreliable, but let's just do half dash distance for 4 rooms. And afterwards, we'll go ahead and grab a bunch of extra stuff. For, oh, what was that? Sorry. Extra max life. Had to think for a second there. Ooh. Yeah, the shorter dash hurts a bit, but we should luckily have at least 4 encounters. It would be a big problem if we had the shorter dash on the Fury fight for the first boss floor, but I don't think that will be the case unless we got, like, supremely unlucky. I still don't, to this day, know if there's a specific number of encounters, specific number of rooms before you hit the boss. That's something I probably should have been counting by now or looked up. I just haven't really thought of it, honestly. But here we go. And just to make sure, we do have our aspect. When we manually reload our next... That's actually not good. I forgot to check that because we now no longer reload. That's really awkward. Honestly, if we get the opportunity to change out our... Oh, we haven't seen Athena for a long time, actually. So let's see how that goes. In fact, I think we all... Did we even see an Athena boon last stream? I just remember noting towards the end, I was like, man, we haven't seen, like, any of her perks. And I always mention this, but I think that her dash deflect is just a super powerful defensive ability in this game. There's other deflects that also can be very consistent. And what's our affinity with Athena? Overall, we have quite a few gods that are still at 1 heart. I do really think that we need to, at minimum, maybe Demeter and Zeus, but based on what it says, I think we just need to all around be raising our affinity with the Olympians.
For you, Lady Athena,
So we'll see.
without whom I would assuredly be lost.
That's a nice one to say.
This is an unexpected.
Nice.
I so look forward to our
Alright, attack is stronger, can deflect. Let's, oh, nope, dash deflect. I was gonna say, this would be a very strong damage upgrade, 53%, not bad. But I am just gonna go for dash deflect. Even if it's a common, like I said, I think that's such a powerful boon to have. Protects you from a lot of damage. Very, very helpful. One of my favorite things to have in the game. I, like, cannot overstate how much I like that boon.
Come on, then.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself a little bit for not checking my aspect before we ran in here, because, I mean, there was no way to know that I was even going to start with a Deadless perk, let alone, you know, the literal only one that would make us reload, but I could have also checked that before I picked my Deadless Hammer. I just didn't think that's the one I had taken. Not sure which one I thought I had taken. Here we could go for an upgrade, but I think the only thing that's upgradable is our dash, and our dash damage isn't important, it's mostly just that we have that deflect. So let's just see what's in the first shop, see who shows up as a boon. We could fight Charon here. I don't think it would be wise, but we could fight Charon here.
Pleasure doing business.
Alright, dash deals damage in a foe's knock. That would already... I actually really like Poseidon's Skull. We could get... I'm going to save our money here. I just don't think the pomegranate's worth on these. And you know what? It's early on enough in the run. And we have our dash deflect, which I think could help with this fight. I just love that little record drop. That's so funny. Sorry. I want to try this fight again. Last time we lost all our death to fights on the first floor. And if we do survive until the 3rd floor, we always usually have the option to restore him.
You're just testing me here, right, Charon?
Yeah.
I mean, when you place a huge sum of coin conspicuously within my reach, what do you expect me to do?
That's kind of funny. I mean, it is still stealing.
Mate, when I rob you from now on, it's just my way of saying...
Okay, fair enough. So he won't be too mad at us then.
Like gentleman, Charon.
It's just a change of pace. The last time we didn't have, like, anything going first, and surely... Did I not deflect that in time? I'm not sure if I deflected that in time. I want to make sure that you can, in fact, deflect it, but... Oh, gosh. I'm going to probably save for Greater Call. This fight does so much damage early. It does look like we can deflect, though. As long as we don't mistime it. We're just going to have to be careful. I'm not sure what I'm actually taking a little bit of damage from there. But this might result in our death immediately. Ow. Kind of like that.
Not so fast.
I still haven't figured out this fight, which is kind of why I do want to try out this fight every time I get the chance. On the other hand, though, this stream might start off with me dying in a really stupid way. Oops. Here's Greater Call. I'm going to try and get as many hits in as we can here. Yeah, that wasn't terrible damage, but we've already lost 1 death to fight. We should probably just be hiding behind the pillars, in all honesty. That's clearly the intended strategy. I was just trying to be... little... Oop. I was a little curious. It did seem like it... Oh. Ow. Yeah, we need to be standing behind Charon, it seems, at all times. We can deflect that, but it does continue to go, and that's what's important, is it? It's not as though it just stops like a lot of deflects do. So we have to be extremely careful. Oh, gosh. I wonder if this can appear on another floor again. I think I mentioned that last time, but I have no idea. And we may just die. Back to the, it looks like it might be back to the curse of failing the first run. I want to save up for Greater Call, because that's where we get the most damage, but, we're about to die. Oh, gosh. Okay, there's Greater Call. But we're already down to our last life. And Charon has, like, all of its health. Oh, yeah, we're definitely gonna die. Oops. Alright, Charon, listen. Can you can you deflect those? I actually can't tell. I'm clearly going to die anyways. You can deflect that little wave there. But like I was saying, it continues to move. So it's not exactly the most reliable thing. I gotta know. Okay, you can deflect it. It just kind of disperses it, though. But, yeah, this is not going well. Oh, I didn't... that maybe wasn't timing that. Oh my gosh! Okay, so that was a mistake. Good to know. Until I could use more practice on that fight, obviously. But picking a fight with Charon does appear to be very, very, not a good thing to do. Oh gosh. Oh, don't be like that. Charon's helped us out a lot. I think we will probably just hop back out with the gun, though. I really want to see what the... Oh, hey, it's Orpheus and
Do you
Achilles.
miss it yourself, Lord Achilles, sir? The freshness of the air, the need to have meals several times a day and such.
I scarce remember it, my friend. Although
It's probably been a long time.
stir up memories sometimes. I'm used to things the way they are, I think. But you, not so much.
I think Orpheus would be in,
Contrary, sir.
yeah, a much better spot if he just...
Satisfied.
Again, I'm still not entirely sure if it's what Eurydice wants, but we do have a quest to reunite him. I don't know how.
Imagine merely resting for eternity when you could work.
No, I'd rather...
Now that you mention it.
Yeah, fair enough. Does Deuce have anything to say? No?
Guess mother's off someplace.
Oh, Nyx is right here. What do you mean? Oh, not Nyx, Persephone.
You know, that you were not my birth mother. I mean,
Oh.
look at Hypnos and Thanatos. There's no way that I could have been related to them. Everybody knew, and yet, when I finally learned for certain, it was still a shock.
That's fair, but Nyx very clearly cares.
In turn, that you would learn the truth of it eventually. And I was fearful of what would occur after that time arrived. I'm grateful it has come and gone.
Oh.
Though, tell me, I still find I call you child. Is your preference that I cease to use such terms from this point on?
Yeah, I never had a problem. I get that she hid some things from Zagreus, but
No,
I just always found Nyx very, very endearing. She clearly helped us. She's one of the... We can all say that, you know, that... And Hades mentions all the time that we wouldn't have escaped without the Olympians, but we wouldn't have without Nyx either.
It is more than
And we've learned that her concealing our presence is like the biggest reason that Persephone wasn't found when we started to meet with her. I have no idea where Persephone is. Oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it. But let's hop back in with the Rowan. That was a miss. Oh,
Meg, what a surprise. Again. What is it? What's the matter?
well, we forged a bond with her last
Why are you
time.
looking at me like that?
I thought that was the end of it, but maybe it wasn't.
Grace, would you shut up with your idiotic questions and get over here right now?
Oh.
You really... Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really have a... Be with me? Oh, okay, yeah. Sure, why not?
I thought you'd never ask.
If we're going to be staying in the underworld now that Persephone's down here, why not? Hopefully this isn't anything inappropriate. Okay, we're good. Okay.
Meg, what I'm trying to say is, are you... are we good? Or...
Stop being insecure around me, Zach. You should know better than that by now. Though yes, if you must know, I think we're good. But if you tell another living soul or even a dead one, I will kill you. Understand?
Fair enough.
Clear, Meg, yes, I understand. So then, what happens now?
What happens now? I'll see you at the edge of Tartarus, I guess. Or maybe here. However long we keep this
I'm
up.
glad we patched things up with Meg, though. I just always felt bad because she's the only one of the three Furies that, you know, genuinely is, like, allowed in the house to Symphony and Electo, both for very obvious reasons. I know Meg's also mentioned that, like, they don't really have the desire to do that. But I think it's really good that
You ask
we've patched
too many
things up with her.
questions, Zach. I don't have
Because
to
even now that Persephone's back, and Zagreus seems to be very friendly with everyone in the underworld,
see you around.
it just never quite sat right, you know? But it does look like we're still going to be fighting, potentially, at the end of First
See you
Floor, but...
around? Yes.
Yes. Nice. Anyway, let's double check the aspects here. But yeah, we got rolled pretty hard by Charon there. I wanted to see, and it didn't go very well. I do like starting with a Charon coin purse. It just means that you can usually buy an extra one. A lot of times, if I'm doing another weapon, like I said, I start with Aphrodite in the hopes of getting a strong starting basic attack. Then I'll get this on like the second or third floor, usually the second, just for a load of an extra boost. I don't know if that strat's really going to hold up as we go on. But we do need to at least try equipping all the ones that still say rank 125 encounters, because that means we haven't even tried them. I do want to hold off on the boons for specific gods again, because we're trying to, whenever we use the railgun, I like seeing a Daedalus hammer. That's my preferred thing. So you know what? Let's just go with the Palm Blossom. I think that this is probably going to be one of the best ones, especially once we rank it up. I'd have to imagine it's a free Palm level every 4 encounters. That's not bad at all. Very helpful. But we're going to go in with the same modifiers. That first run was a bit of a catastrophe. I shouldn't have picked a fight with Charon. We would have been fine to keep... Oh, and I forgot to check my aspect. That's fine. Our current aspect should be fine.
Boy, but in a manner
Huh.
you can die, as you now understand. A most unpleasant feeling, is it not?
I'd imagine, but... Again, I like that, even if Hades is still a little bit awkward, obviously.
I'm used to it.
Hades is very much like, he's trying to make things right. And to me, that's like, that's character growth, you know? Yeah, I'm not going to worry about what the gods really say to me from this point. I don't think it's that important. So we could go Chain Lightning. I do like going stuff like this early, just because even if I replace it, that's good crowd control early. I can level it up with things like my Palm Blossom here. And then when I get if I get a better option, I can just replace it then. And that's usually my plan with this. It is technically a waste of a boon if we do replace it. But at the same time, again, it allows us to placeholder levels, because levels in these specific slots, if you switch it out, do transfer over. And that can give you a lot of power if you find something better later. And if not, that's fine. It's still good crowd control.
Look what I found.
Alright, max health early is good. Yeah, let's try to actually win this time, eh? That was kind of a dumb way to lose. I really want to get to the point where I can consistently beat Charon on the first floor with any weapon. That would be really good, because that's a lot of free money, you know? At base values, I know there are seat levels that raise the price of things, but 300 gold at base values, that's 2 boons. Oh, hey, a hammer. Sick. If I get rockets, that'd be great. If not, I think the hammer perks for certain weapons feel a lot better than the others. For, like, example, on the shield and the spear, there's a few that revolve pretty heavily around their charge attack, and while I don't think they're bad strikes to use, like, I constantly tell myself, hey, I should be using my shield to block, because it's a shield. It's just not been my favorite. Alright, so then special fires a spread of 5 bombs, but deals less damage. That is really good with other synergies. Let's try the hazard bomb, because we've never tried it before.
There we go.
That is very dangerous, though, but it's a very clear indicator. We just need to not hit it ourselves with it. We do have to be careful, because, like, I think it can bounce off of things. Maybe not. I think in the Hades fight it bounced off pillars when we've been hiding behind during the flame beam attack. But we will have to check. But either way, when you consider that that 300 damage modifier will probably stack with whatever bonus we get for our special, that's a lot of power. We just have to be more careful. But I have never tried this buff before. I think it could be kind of interesting. I mean, with how much damage he's doing on base, that's pretty nice. Again, it just takes a little bit more thought from us. We got a free level in our basic attack like we were talking. I don't mind giving up darkness to go in the Chaos Portal here. First floor Chaos Portal is almost always a yes for me, because you can usually survive pretty safely, and usually it's a good buff, whether for resources or damage. Very, very helpful. Alright, so then. A dash strike would be good if we were using a melee weapon. I'm going to do this. We have half movement speed basically for 3 encounters, but our boons all have a 29% chance to be rare better. You also have to consider I'm 99% certain that stacks, on top of our mirror buffs, which is already like a 40% chance on rare better, and we have like a 3% legendary duo chance from our mirror as well. So, should be very helpful. We can visit Sisyphus here, but I don't see a huge reason to. Sisyphus will either heal us, give us a bit of darkness, or give us a bit of gold. I think we can fight the elite here. Our special, as long as we don't nail ourselves with it. I'm not really willing to test how much damage it does to me right now. I feel like that would probably be a little bit ill-advised. But we'll probably find out at some point. Going to the wrong spot. It does very clearly take a while to land, but that is a lot of damage. And here's a Demeter perk. Alright, dash. I really like this dash, actually. Makes it very easy to inflict chill. Very helpful. Especially when you consider we have low move speed for a little bit. Should be pretty nice. Nice, yeah. Again, you gotta consider that this should stack with whatever special bonus we get. So eventually our special could be doing a lot of damage, even if it is a little bit slow. Just means that we have to be a little careful. And again, on smaller battlefields, that could also cause us some issues, but until then, I'm quite liking this. Shop here, we do have enough to buy some I didn't check was in the Inferno Trove. That's a little bit awkward, but that's okay. Alright, so we could go Hermes. Hermes could be really good with what we have right now. So we can either save 25 gold for a Mystery God or go for Hermes. I genuinely think that Hermes will be more useful.
Should help keep me going.
Attack is faster. I don't actually know how helpful that is with our gun. I'm sure it just lets us empty our clip a little bit faster. Not bad. I genuinely do like this one, though. Hyper Sprint when we dash beer. 30, take a little bit less damage, run a little bit faster.
Feelings about that whole battle to the death.
Yeah. The last time we beat Charon,
Your sense of humor
but we had no death defies and we died like immediately afterwards on the first floor, which was awkward. Here, Charon just kind of murdered us. I had no idea what was going on, honestly, either fight. So, yeah, not the best choice to pick a fight with Charon. But again, if we can get to the point where we can do that fight consistently, that's a huge source of potential income. So I do want to practice that fight. I just don't want to die for it. I'm going to keep an eye out to see if that can happen in another floor when we've stockpiled a bit more power. But I also don't know if that means Charon will have scaled to a different level if that's the case. I know that's what a lot of roguelikes will do. And if not, I'm sure something else will happen. I can't imagine it just being like here on the 3rd floor, fight Charon when you're super, super powerful, you know? Just seems a little bit unlikely to me. But hey, you never know. There we go. And there we go. So now we no longer have half move speed. Better chance for strong boots. Once again, we're going to just keep leveling this up. That's only a 3 damage increase, and higher levels do give diminishing returns in this game. But it's still helpful. Ooh, do I want another? I'm going to pay for another Chaos State here. And here we got a Nectar. Perfect. We basically need to be picking up Nectars whenever we can so that we can give them to the Olympians and try to make amends and hopefully see if there's another ending. Because clearly if Persephone has a plan, there's something going on that could be used to maybe fix things up with the Olympians. We need to be careful here. Luckily, we're just out of range there. Oh, and because of our renovations, we got another level on our dash there. We only have 2 boons right now that can even give us levels, but we do get another one next room. So hopefully... Oh, I didn't expect it to be that early. This, whichever thing we take here, will probably last through the first 4 boss fight, which shouldn't be a huge issue. We might take some extra damage, but I imagine we'll be okay. Alright. Less movement speed. Take extra damage for attack damage. Okay, this will be a little risky, but we're going to take an extra 25% damage for the next 3 fights. Again, probably including the boss. I don't have enough money to make the shop worth it. I could alter this and not have Artemis, but I think Artemis is okay here. In fact, we'll give a Nectar to Artemis because I'm pretty sure that Artemis, yeah, Artemis is one of our only Affinity 1 gods.
My Lady Artemis, this is nothing next to all your...
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, wait, this is an offering for me? Oh, that's very...
Nice.
Your name.
Alright, so Seeky Cast is good. The arrows are nice. Critical damage. Again, I still don't know to this day what the base critical chance is in this game. So I think I'm actually going to try the call this time. Basically, I actually don't mind this cast, but I'd like to have a call here. I think it will be very helpful. Again, here we're going to have to just be careful, because we're taking an extra 25% damage here. We've had some close calls ever since we buffed, because that was basically the first heat level we did.
Hello?
Oh, was it just Persephone and Alecto?
Please, I'm not a murderer. You don't have to do this.
I don't know if that's technically accurate, but... You know, we do run through the underworld trying to escape killing a lot of stuff, but I don't know if that technically counts because it is the underworld. No idea, actually. Now, if we could consistently hit these strikes here... Persephone is definitely a bit overwhelming to fight. Especially... Oh, let's not run into that. Especially when we have Alecto running around throwing these blades. So, oh, ran into that one. We'll have to be a little bit careful here, but it should be okay. Unless we keep getting hit by stuff like that and that. But yeah, I do think of the 3, Persephone is definitely the one that I'm still the least comfortable with. It's just intimidating. Lots of big AoE attacks. Ow, the big long-range stun, that. Definitely still a little bit scary. That said, oh gosh. As long as we don't lose a death divide here, I'm not super concerned about things. Which we're running a little bit close on doing that, honestly. Just gotta be careful though. Try not to stand in a straight line across. Oh boy. Oh gosh. It's really hard to keep track of, even though we're in a small room. Okay, we should be able to end this fight pretty soon with one more strike. There we go. We came very close to losing our death defied. I don't know how much extra damage we took because of the extra 25%. We took over 100 damage there though, so I'd imagine it was about 25 extra damage. Very, very close, but I'll take it. You know, better than losing a death defied.
That Persephone has met her match with you.
I'm going to do this. I would love the next boon having upgraded rarity. That is very nice. But I'm going to give myself healing items for the next 3 rooms. We can't use the companion, this particular companion, on the Furies anyways, I don't think. But I do like this. It's free damage. I'm still curious who else gives us pets. My guess was like Achilles, maybe Nyx, and Persephone, but I have no idea if that's the case. Aside from that, what other relic could be interesting? Again, usually I take the coin purse here. Maybe we should just take the acorn. The acorn is one that I like to stick through for the entire run though, but I'm just not sure what extra patterns we've given the Hydra. So maybe instead, let's go for... This is a tough call. I really don't know. Let's try Distant Memory. I do remember this not being a super long range requirement.
I'll just go on.
And with our mortar, we definitely fulfill it. That should just be a free like 10% damage most of the time. Could be helpful. Not the most stellar thing in the world, but generally speaking, I use my defensive perks for the 3rd and 4th floor.
Meadows.
Let's see how this goes. Should have 2 more rooms with extra damage as well, so we'll have to be careful. But again, enemies should be dropping healing items for the next couple of rooms, which is helpful. Oh gosh, I ran straight into that enemy. Oh, I thought I would kill that thing in time, and I definitely did not. That's really awkward. Okay, that only did 2 damage. I didn't mean to run into that, but that only did 2 damage, so that's fine. Again, that'll stack up pretty quickly if I'm just running into it all the time. But that's not as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more damage, honestly. Now, I don't think I saw, like, any healing item drops, unfortunately, unless we just auto-picked them up, because we're actually a little worse for wear. That's fine. What is the chance? 15% chance? That's fine. So maybe not the highest chance. Another Hermes perk could be good. I'm actually going to go for some money here to make our next shop a little bit more valuable. But we will see. But at the moment, this run is not looking too powerful. This perk here is very strong, but we haven't found anything else to amplify our special. And it does feel a little bit unwieldy. We'll see how this goes. We didn't pay too much gold for the healing perk, but it is a little bit unfortunate. Did I just take damage for stepping on this? Oops. That does look like it would do damage, to be fair. Oh, not there. Oh gosh, stop running into lava. I need to be a little more careful here. I'm taking just a lot of free damage for no reason.
The curse of chaos has been
Okay, there's the chaos. We did get a little bit of healing there, so some value out of it so far. Not a whole lot of healing, though. I was really hoping for a bit more.
from the magma fishes.
Surprised there are fishes that can even swim in the magma, honestly. A crustacean. I love the fish in this game. It's so funny. Oh, there's a... Is this healing? I'm going to risk it because we still have this boon here. I don't think that ticks down. And this could be free money. Well, it is free money, but it could be a little bit free health as well, in theory, with our little healing items dropping boon. Again, like, the only thing we really have going for us right now is our Mortar Strike. But we got 118 gold out of that. I don't see any food drops, but it didn't lower the thing on Eye of Lamia. We do have 2 Chaos perks here, which is nice too. That's extra attack damage. I'm willing to take more darkness here, that's fine. But again, not the cleanest run. I'm not super impressed with what we got. A fountain could not have happened at a better time, honestly. I was even considering maybe changing the rewards with our 2 rerolls. Glad I didn't. Here we get to see Eurydice. That's always nice. I don't think I'm going to go for the upgrades. I think I might actually just continue to increase the extra rarity on future boons. And then just hope that we get something good out of it. Bye, Eurydice.
How long have you been down here anyway, if you don't mind my asking? Seems like you're pretty settled in. It's quite a lovely place.
It is a lovely place.
How long have I been down here, hon? Huh, I don't
No,
have
the
the
faintest.
faintest. You lose yourself
Yet
in
imagine
time
if you were in the
once
underworld,
you're
you'd
here,
very
maybe
quickly
you'll
lose
find
track of
a
time.
moon over your head. But yeah, I found myself a decent spot and fixed it up a bit.
Nice. But yeah, this is what I do a lot of time. You have to consider that would upgrade 2 boons to the next rarity, so there's a decent chance we get Heroic Dash. I just don't think Heroic Dash is that important. It could upgrade the call damage a little bit. Obviously upgrade Lightning Strike. It could upgrade 2 of these 3 because none of these are actually upgradable to my knowledge. 4 levels could also be good, but I'm actually just going to go for this. Next 3 boons have upgraded rarity. Now we have a lot more potential to work with alongside say the extra rare, all that stuff. We just have to hope that we actually find it. I'm actually not super hyped on getting a Zeus here. Let's try re-rolling this to a different person. That's an interesting one. We'll go for it.
Take care.
I don't mind Demeter's boons. I don't know if this is going to be great, but we'll just have to see what it gives. Hopefully this isn't witches. I think it's witches. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. Yeah, not ideal, if I'm being completely honest. The goal here is just to not take any damage, or as little damage as possible. We're taking quite a bit of damage here. Ow. Oh my gosh. Fire Artemis arrows. Is this the last one? Okay, thank you. Yeah, that room I feel like I always take a lot of damage, even if I have a deflect, honestly. It's a little bit scary. So special is stronger and inflicts chill. Ooh, when all foes are chill affected. That is interesting. I'm gonna grab this though. That's an extra 117% special damage on top of our Dadless perk. We now have a very, very powerful rocket. And we got some healing back, nice. That was the end of our healing boon. We do have 2 more upgraded rarity boons. I think this is the only option. I don't mind getting gemstones here. We still have a lot of cosmetic upgrades to do. So, that's fine. We don't do a lot of gemstone treasure troves as well, you have to consider. Just because I don't like to risk it for those. I thought I dashed in time. That's awkward. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Just try and keep ourselves safe. We haven't been doing a great job of that so far, but at the end of the day, I don't mind losing Death Defieds to like Theseus and the Minotaur. I don't like losing the Hydra, but I think knowing that there's going to be a new attack pattern for the Hydra that we've never seen before, I do think that some of the rounds could be a little bit dangerous. Just because I have no idea what's awaiting us. Oh. Forgot how much those curved. I would have been option. Pomegranate or shop. That's a tough one. I don't really know if we have a whole lot. Again, pomegranates, we have level 4 basic attacks. If we can find a good boon to replace it with, could be very powerful. So let's see what we have here. Also potential for like max health here. Dionysus is interesting. We can afford both the max health and the Dionysus perk. Very nice. The 160 max life is helpful. Alright, so we could do a cast for Festive Fog. I don't mind that one. That'd be extra DPS and it stuns them. I actually do like the premium vintage here, though. We get an extra nectar now to continue our goals, and we'll get an extra 25 max life. So, not bad at all. Alright, and here's the Hydra. We're going to need to be careful. Again, I don't want to lose the Death Divide here if I can avoid it. Might not be something I can do, but we'll see. Oh! Yeah, that's interesting. It changed the chamber. That's actually not what I expected. Luckily, ooh, look at that damage when all 3 gems are inside of it. We're just gonna have to be careful. I'm a little bit worried about the Hydras here, honestly. I don't know how claustrophobic it's gonna be when we have the round with like 6 Hydras or whatever it is. Ooh, I bombed myself. That did do 4 damage. I wonder if it scales with either like what level you're on, the damage we take back from the Dadless Hammer perk. I think there's also a chance it just scales based on how much damage it does. Again, 4 damage isn't bad. But when you're taking 4 damage a bunch of times in a row, it becomes very... Okay, that did bounce off the pillar. When you're taking 4 damage in a row a bunch of times, it becomes very bad very quick. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. Did I not? Okay, we did get rid of all the Hydrates. Yeah, overall, this isn't such a bad change. I'm just doing... Yeah, this is a little bit bad, though. Oh, gosh. Yeah, this was the round I'm always concerned about. Luckily, we do have a very strong mortar strike. I'm trying not to bomb myself, though. Or take too much damage. Our Artemis arrows is basically just free DPS as well on these. So a little helpful, but you have to be careful. It is harder to avoid being in short range of the Hydra heads with this guy. Oh, I didn't realize I was on the lava. It is a little bit more difficult to not be in range of danger. But luckily, with the range we have on this weapon at least, I can imagine this making the melee fights much more difficult. But honestly, that wasn't so bad. Lerny Vanquished. Is that the official name now? I remember he decided to call it that at one point, but not so bad. Not so bad. I am worried about hitting Asterius with the Mortar Strike here because of how fast Asterius can be. But with the amount of damage we are doing there, very, very powerful. Let's see what keepsake we want to change to. Ooh, sorry, I had to sneeze. I do think that obviously the Blossom was very good for us. We can't take the Hades one. This hasn't been bad. But just 10% damage here is a little underwhelming, I would say. My favorites are, I really like the Evergreen Acorn for the last two. Obviously, the extra revive is also very nice. We could go for extra healing here, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Let's see, your attack and special. That's not going to apply a whole lot here. Let's just go with good old trusty Acorn. Basically, it just negates the first 5 hits against a boss. In this case, that'll apply to Theseus the Minotaur, as well as we probably won't change it unless we really feel we need the revive, so as well as the Hades fight. I do think that's just a really reliable way to save yourself some damage. I tend to burn through those extremely fast, but you have to consider, even if you're going through them real fast in those boss fights, that's damage you're not taking, that's death to fights you're possibly saving. Sometimes that damage negated is worth a lot more than Lucky Tooth just giving you 1 revive with 100 health. It really just depends. Here, I'm going to go for the money here. We have one more upgraded boon. I'm not sure I want it to be a Hermes one. I kind of want it to be one I can apply to my basic attacks. So we'll just avoid that for now. But could have been good. But Hermes boons a lot of times I feel like are more like defensively based. And upgrading them I don't actually think is the most important thing in the world. Not unhelpful. But it's one of those things that if I have the choice between upgrading my damage and getting a little bit stronger defensive ability, I'm probably just going to go for the damage, you know? But here, even though we aren't going for rocket build, our special is very much the main source of DPS for this build, which is cool to see. Max health or Artemis, again, let's go for max health here. We don't have a whole lot of boons, but I would like just a little bit more max health. My rule, as always, try and get at least 200 max health. That's my general rule. I think it's usually pretty helpful. Ooh, I thought that it would run into that, actually. Alright, here we go.
Not yet.
Yeah, but 2-shotting these is not bad at all. Those chariots do have a lot of health. Alright, some money. Not bad. If nothing else, we can rely on this mortar strike. We're just gonna have to be accurate. Which is not always my strong suit, admittedly, but oh gosh, it spawned one next to me. But our basic attacks are basically just a little bit of crowd control, which isn't bad, but oh, I ran straight into that trap. Oops. Luckily, like, if enemies are chasing us, we can kind of just fire the special right on us and then run away. And usually I feel like enemies that are chasing us are just going to run into it. Probably one less. But just gotta be careful. In Elysium, it is very easy to just take stupid damage like that. So we just want to make sure we're trying to mitigate any damage we can. Not doing the best job. We're taking a lot of chip damage here, but honestly not as bad as I thought. I kind of felt like I'd taken more damage than that. So do we want an upgraded Zeus boon? No, we're trying to replace the basic attacks. Let's see what's in the shop. We have 330 gold. That's enough for potentially 2 boons. Usually there's only 1 though. Demeter. You know what? If we can get the Demeter at basic attack chills, that could be good. Applying 10 stacks of chill. We can't do that super consistently. These two do synergize really well together. I'm actually going to go for the crystals here on my cast, just because we're not actually using our... Ooh, and that's a big special upgrade. Just because they do this, we can't stick them in enemies. But you have to consider, we're not actually using them a whole lot. And let's go for another Daedalus Hammer. Another Demeter perk could be interesting. Again, to synergize with how many we already have. But Daedalus Hammer, I'm always a sucker for it. So many cool perks for most of the weapons. Again, some of them are a little underwhelming. I don't like the charge strategy for especially the shield, and I know there are quite a few. But generally speaking, you can usually find something pretty powerful, you know? We'll see. We do have level 5 basic attacks, though, which is pretty crazy considering we don't really have anything to capitalize on that. Because, again, we just have a common... It was our very first boon. And we have a common lightning bounce. Not bad. But for how heavily we've invested in that boon, I would like, ideally, to see something a little bit more effective than that. Yeah, the crystals don't do the most damage, but they tick really fast. So as long as you can get them locked onto an enemy, we've had a perk before where they automatically just pointed to wherever we were, which was more helpful than you might think, because they were just auto-locked onto us, which meant that they were basically just spinning way faster. Like, you see them turning pretty slowly here. When they were spinning on us, they were like, just straight lock on us. It was actually pretty nice. But... Oop. Thought I dodged into that.
Not yet.
We should be fine here. Nice. Could have fired my Artemis arrows there. Didn't even think about it, honestly. Your attack deals damage in area and briefly slows. Okay. So we could get shotgun spread here, which is interesting. I kind of want to try explosive fire here. The scroll means we haven't even tried it before. Delta Chamber could be fun. I do like Delta Chamber, but let's do this. Especially when you consider, once again, we do have that aspect that we apparently haven't upgraded. But it empowers the next shot after we reload, so it doesn't hurt to reload. We could visit... You know, let's visit this guy. Let's heal the full just to be careful, because again, I'm not super confident in anything except for our special right now. So let's see what happens.
What is it this time?
Just on one of my
This guy's just interesting because he's one of those guys that just doesn't feel like he belongs in Elysium. Whereas I think he almost kind of does, but on the other hand, you have people like Theseus who's super confident that he does, and I don't like Theseus. But here, we'll get some healing in between rooms for the next 5 rooms. Very, very helpful. 30% health. That'll heal us to full here. Make things a little bit safer alongside the Aegor, and hopefully we'll be able to go into the Theseus fight and come across relatively unscathed. That usually doesn't happen, but we've been able to at least semi-consistently not lose death to fights on that fight, which is generally the goal. Especially because that's really, unless we pay 200 gold and get the opportunity to pay 200 gold, that guy right there is our best chance at getting our death to fights back. I've seen it occasionally on like the little cauldron shops on the 4th floor, but again, usually that is, if you're going to get a chance to restore death to fights, that's where it's going to come.
more of these are there.
Alright, but here we just got to keep our distance. Not going to be the fastest run by any means. Ooh, I thought I dodged into that. Yeah, not going to be the fastest run by any means, but with the amount of damage we do, we should be able to clear this. As long as we're careful. Don't let these revive. Very nice. Yeah, the shield bears are a little annoying just because if they do, you can see how often they can reflect on those crystal damage. So when they reflect something slow moving and uncommon damage, like my mortar shot there, a little bit annoying. But honestly, not the worst thing in the world. Get some darkness here, and let's fish. I don't feel like I get that many opportunities in Elysium to fish for some reason. A clam.
Another clam.
Nice. Alright, so money or double boon. I do feel like we need the double boon here. We have enough money for one more boon in our last shop. The prices on the 4th floor do spike. We're obviously going to start with Demeter here. That's just what we have synergy for. So then, any healing effects are more potent. That could be helpful. Cast fire's longer and if it's chill. Or completely chill when we take damage, revenge damage. I'm actually going to do the extra cast time. That makes our crystals a little bit less, you know, management heavy. That's an extra 2.4 seconds that we can just leave him out there.
Guess he's upset.
Yeah, these double ones I always feel like, again, it's another encounter that I feel like I take damage. Just because, and again, it's telling me to use Batty. I don't like using Batty outside of the, I'll occasionally use some on the Hydra fight if I'm really worried. But generally speaking, I like to use them on the Theseus fight, and then I save them for the Hades fight and forget I have them. But I do think it's generally helpful to save them for the really important fights. But they could also save you a lot of damage, to be fair. Oh gosh, I didn't get out of that. So they're doing 6 damage now. So I do wonder again if that scales with either our damage or maybe the floor. I've never taken the 300% damage thing before. But it does seem pretty interesting again. Honestly, kind of neat. There we go. Double perk, not too much health loss. We still have our Patroclus buff, so we're basically going to be restoring a little over 60 health every single room for the next 3 rooms. Not bad at all. Alright, using all a fountain. That's a lot better early. We do get a fountain, to be fair, after we get the Cerberus treat, so that would ensure we go into the Hades fight full. But I'm actually giving myself 10% damage resistance when we're at 40% or below, because you have to consider our revives always revive us at 50%. And again, unless we're taking a ton of damage, I don't think that's the biggest concern. We are going to go to the shop here, try and buy one last boon before the Theseus fight. Artemis, that's fine.
Always a pleasure, Charon.
So after you do critical damage, we don't have a lot of critical damage. I actually really like support fire. Every time we do anything, basically cast, attack, special, we also fire Seeking Arrow. It's only 12 damage, but it's still a lot of free DPS. Not as much on a weapon that we have to reload like this or slow fire like our special, but it's still free DPS that we don't have to worry about at all for like keeping in mind how to proc it. As you can see, just a little bit of free damage, and they are seeking arrows. The danger here is I really don't like lowering the two at the same time. I think that is a little bit dangerous. But with how big the mortar strike is, I don't know if we're going to get much of a choice. Oh, and we need to make sure we're not bouncing those mortar fires off. Kind of like that. The chill's helpful for Asterius. As always on this fight, I like to save for a full-on... And you can see, the reason we're resisting that damage is our Acorn. Looks like we have 2 free hits left. I always feel like I just take a little bit of shit damage off of Theseus just firing things off screen. Pretty obnoxious. And I'm just not good at, like, figuring out how to get out of the range of that, honestly. When he's off screen, you could argue that I should just be moving all the time, which I try to be. But I just feel like I take way more damage than maybe I should here. I don't think we're going to get a full Artemis God Gauge here, actually. Despite how much damage we're doing. Because, to be fair, you also get God Gauge when you're taking damage. And we still even have 2 immunes. So, not bad at all. That's Minotaur down already, wow. Alright, he's about to summon a call from one of the gods. Let's just fire the arrows here. They'll seek, do a little bit of damage here again. The bonus from getting, like, I think it's like 11 extra arrows or something like that. When you, oop, that's one more resist. Ooh, I thought that was my last resist. I have one more. We might even be able to, I don't want to jinx it. But a couple more mortar strikes and we do this with no damage. Never mind. I wasn't paying attention. Ah, that's super sad. I almost got that with no damage. I took damage because he threw the spear. It resisted my last resist. And then he pulled the spear back and I took damage. But that was very close to being a perfect boss fight. And it definitely should have been. I just wasn't quite paying enough attention at the end. But either way, we're still at full health.
So close to the surface already.
I don't feel like this has been a particular fast run, Hades. Honestly, we could go for any other boon, but I, again, really like this. You have to consider Hades' spin attack does a lot of damage, so negating 5 of those, potentially, again, that's not always what you're going to negate, is very helpful. But this should be an okay run. I do like this level 3 heat modifier, though, where we're just increasing. It's basically just changing the first boss fight and the second boss fight. We don't even have to worry about the endgame, whereas a lot of the other ones do still affect it. So, not even a concern past the first 2 floors. Worst comes to worst, you know, on these future runs, we do use one there. I'm going to go for Demeter. Again, if I can get a better basic attack here, would be huge. Demeter basic attack with level 5, even on, like, common or rare rarity, would be a massive DPS upgrade, I'd say. And it's not that the Zeus perk hasn't served as well, because the Zeus boon so far has been very good crowd control. But it's just not what we're looking for in game, I wouldn't say. Chill is also very helpful against Hades. We're stacking up Chill really fast with the crystals as well. So again, maybe not the most necessary thing in the world, but it's one of those, if you can have them, why not? So let's see. I still have no idea as well if there's any tell which path has the Cerberus Street. I do believe it is random, but I could be wrong.
Doesn't taste like anything.
Lots of rats, huh? Just gotta be careful. With small rooms like this and the chance of our stuff bouncing back, we have a decent chance of hitting ourselves with a mortar. I am really thankful it's not a lot of damage. I was worried about that. I think this could be a really cool one. I'd love to get a run where I get like 5 or 6, if possible, dadless buffs, honestly. I think that would be so cool. I don't know how possible that is, because I don't know if the game does intentionally limit you. I don't think it's quite like the other gods, where like if you get certain gods buffs, a lot of the time the game will kind of lean you towards more of them because they synergize together. But I have no idea if that's actually the case with dadless hammers, because they're a little bit different. If that is the case, though, that would be awesome. But again, I really don't think it is. Usually we'll get like 1 or 2 in a run, but I have never gotten like, say what I've done with Demeter here, where I feel like I have quite a few, and it's a good portion of my power. Okay, this is a round that we gotta be a little careful for. Mostly I'm worried about getting stuck in a laser and getting poisoned. In fact, let's just start firing off our... I keep trying to save my Artemis arrows here for the big payout when you have a full God Gauge, but I don't think it's going to happen outside of a boss fight. It didn't even happen in the Theseus fight, but I do think that's because we took almost no damage in the Theseus fight. And a lot of times that also helps raise your God Gauge. But we'll give our Nectar to... yeah, we'll give it to Demeter. Again, I think we need to raise our relationship with her. She is technically Zagreus' grandmother, too. She doesn't know that, but she is technically Zagreus' grandmother.
In the name of Hades.
Alrighty. Cast is stronger and tracks foes more effectively? Sure. When all foes are afflicted, they deal... That could be really cool. I actually really think that's... Because you have to consider in a boss fight. I'm going to do the duel because we never tried it, but Killing Freeze I think is really good in boss fights because you only have to apply chill to a few things. But again, we've never tried that duel. I think it's important to try any perk you haven't tried before, if at least semi-applicable. Use another Zeus perk. Your collectible strike lightning. Okay, so when we don't pick up our... I don't mind Jolted, but again, we're trying to replace our basic attack. I don't know if we'll get the chance, though, to be fair, because our upcoming boon is Hermes. But I'm actually going to do this. Basically, our crystals will do damage, they'll track you more effectively, last for longer, and now when they're not inside an enemy, and they're just sitting on the ground, they'll also be zapping enemies with lightning. Should be helpful. Got a puffer fish. Yeah, let's go for a Hermes perk.
Maybe this way.
I'm basically just looking for the Cerberus tree at this point. Once we find it, we can go. As long as I don't, like, play this too badly, I think this should be a one run. I've said that before in Lost runs, but it should be okay. Oh gosh. Again, if that was like 10 damage or something like that, 4 damage hurts a bit, but if it was a bit more, would be a little scary. It really does make me wonder how it'd feel to play like that with the rocket, though, because a lot of times I just fire my rockets willy-nilly, honestly. So would we have the issue of, you know, that rocket hitting a wall right in front of us and us taking damage? Like, I'd love to get a run with, like, rockets, the spread of rockets, you know, oh, not a whole lot to get out of that. Like, if we could get, like, this boon for 300% damage, rockets, spread of rockets, all that stuff, that could be a really cool run. But again, there's no guarantee that'll be the case. Okay, and here's the boon. Maybe I should have re-rolled it. That's fine, though. Hermes is good defensively. That's kind of what we're looking for. Alright. You deal damage based on any bonus movement speed. I'm going to try it just because we clearly haven't, again, with the scroll, haven't taken it before. I don't think we have a whole lot of bonus movement speed, aside from when we dash and we get a little bit of extra movement speed for like half a second. So not, you know, the highest value. But it was more just because I hadn't tried it before. And that does mean maybe if we fire immediately after dashing, get a little bit of free damage. Could be helpful. But we're just going to grab this pomegranate here. Ideally upgrade our special. That's fine. We could do 2 damage every 0.2 seconds on the crystals. We'll try that. I think that could be worth more than the arrows. The big arrow fire, if we can get it, is going to be a lot of damage. So we could have upgraded that. 40 extra damage per arrow when you're firing like 10 or 15. Would have been a lot of damage. But we're going to try this here.
Bye for now, boy.
Alright. Time to fight Hades. Oh.
Hate to keep you from your parchment work.
Come, show me.
Okay. Yeah, we have 5 free hits with our acorn. Let's just be careful. A lot of times they take damage. These little skulls are usually the big concern with making sure that you can one-shot them, but I'm pretty sure we do. And look at that. We have pretty good DPS on Hades already, so not bad at all. And Hades isn't the fastest moving enemy, unless he's like dashing or something like that. So as long as we're careful, we should ideally not be missing too many attacks. I say as we miss a few mortars. Oop. See, there we only resisted a little bit of damage from that arrow, which to be fair doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But that spin attack is what's taken a lot of health off me in the past. I don't know if like our 4 damage from hitting ourselves with our own... Oh, that's one. I don't think the skulls appear when we... Oh! I think those the crystals actually track him when he's invisible, which is actually kind of neat. At least if there's no other enemy alive. Here's Greater Call. Here we're going to fire it. Hopefully those arrows don't go into the hand. Not as much damage as I was actually hoping. I don't think all those arrows, or even most of them, hit Hades, though. So we'll see how this goes. Ooh, he's firing like skulls like mad now, though. Gotta be very careful. It's not the biggest deal if some of these survive. They just fire off a bunch of really annoying... they fire off like a big wave, like what he's about to do. And it just gets overwhelming with everything else. Yeah, that. here, we'll just continue to do our best to safely deal damage. We do quite a bit of damage. Those crystals are actually... I'm glad we upgrade... Oh, no! Ooh, that was close. These lasers do a lot of damage, actually. And I don't know if every tick would knock off my acorn hit. I've never tried that. Because that could have been like, you know, if 3 ticks just knocked off all 3 of my hits right there. Would have been really obnoxious, actually. But here we're just going to keep keeping our distance. Freighter call here, nice. Nice. I think that there was... Oh my gosh. Oh, I got scared. Hey, we actually did it without taking damage thanks to the acorn. I'll take it. I don't think I've ever, even with the acorn, I don't think I've ever done a Hades fight damageless. That's a bit of redemption after dying to Charon on floor 1A. I'll take it.
Get you yet.
Nice.
Goodbye, Father.
Goodbye.
By my father.
Alright, so, yep, that's our first 3 heat run. Wasn't too bad. 25 minutes. Not the fastest run, but not bad by any means. I will take it. And now to walk right outside and die.
Imagine, if you will, the underworld prince soon meets one of his typical deaths.
I do feel bad for Zagreus, but again, we gotta keep up the charade until we can mend things with the Olympian gods. I wonder what they'll say after that. Obviously, we'll still have the quote-unquote job of trying to escape the underworld for security. But, we'll see how this goes.
Thank you, everyone. You're too kind.
Hypnos usually has something to say. Maybe we've unlocked most of the dialogue with a lot of characters. Achilles still has a lot to say most of the time, though.
Achilles, did you ever used to pray to the god?
Prayed mostly to my mother, lad.
Interesting.
I always had my doubts the gods were listening, that they could even hear. Though I suppose that if you make an
They're helping, definitely, sir.
Yeah, they're definitely helping us. Learn more by deepening your relationship with Achilles. Okay. So I don't actually know if there's any more important conversations to have with Achilles. Talk with Hades.
Keeping our contractor rather busy, I must say. Commissioning these frivolous projects around the house with a few rest from my domain.
Persephone? Oh, Persephone's down in the corner with Nyx. I was about to say, is she gone?
Oh, you know, just giving back to the community. Figure if I'm to keep getting dragged back here, it might as well be somewhat livable.
That's fair. I mean, he's not exactly discontent to stay here. We are going to go for this with the gemstones. As far as these, so we were saving up for this. I wanted to know what this was. I don't even know if we'll see it.
Authorizing this expenditure.
It looks like a big, like, challenge gate. It looks like a chaos gate, so I'm genuinely curious. But we'll see.
Where's our quarters?
And then we have fish to give to the chef for some materials here. 3 keys, 1 nectar, 40 gems. Very nice.
Use them wisely, my friend.
And here we're at the point where you can also just trade our keys for nectar. I don't think we have another reason to have keys once we unlocked everything in the mirror. If I find out at some point, that's fine. We'll just farm them from then on.
So if there's anything that I can do for you, Nyx, you need but ask, all right? I plan to pull my
I was really worried, if y'all remember, when all of this first happened, that maybe Persephone coming back would put Nyx in an awkward spot. I'm glad they get along and that things are fine.
Services were always welcome here. Please acclimate yourself at your own rate. I am available to answer any questions you may have at any time.
That's really wholesome.
Thank you, my friend. I have to tell you, it's good to be back.
I know that Persephone said she wasn't happy down here for a while, but I'm glad that she's, like, making things work. And it looks like we've completed a prophecy.
That's one more prophecy for
Oh, we've gotten every boon from Hermes. That's interesting. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. Real closer with more Olympians so the plan can unfold. I don't know if that's literally even up everyone's affinity. That's what I was kind of doing. Again, I just have to imagine that we need to get high affinity with Demeter, because that is literally Persephone's mother. And she still doesn't know that she's alive. If we're going to patch things up with the Olympians, we need to. I want to reunite Orpheus and Eurydice. I have no idea how to do that, though. We visited Eurydice back then. Didn't seem to do anything. I don't know if we have to raise our affinity with them as well. It seems like there's a lot of things that we need nectar for. And we're only getting a few every single run. Again, we can convert vibe keys now that we don't have anything else to do with them. But it's kind of hard to figure everything out. We need 250. This boon I want to raise, but it's expensive. We could also give ourselves free rerolls, but with our... I can't remember if it's when we pick up nectars or if it's when we pick up certain things, but when we pick up certain resources, we're getting rerolls anyway, so I'm not super concerned about that. I just want to see how high we can get our legendary chance, because we really don't see them often. It makes sense, because they're legendaries, but we don't see them a whole lot.
Oh, you are in for it now, boy.
Oh, I'm not going to do the rest of these. That, I believe, unlocked some of the more, yeah, final rank of extreme measures, but it's going to take some time. You know, we're trying to slowly raise our everything, get all the rewards, keep getting friendly with everyone, all that stuff. So it's going to be a hot second. As far as other things we can do, I think it's hilarious that there's an Aphrodite poster, honestly. I don't think it really matters, though, honestly. I was just kind of grabbing whatever.
Contractor, I have another job.
Maybe get some chairs.
Right, let's see what we've got.
Oh, nice. Isn't that nice? Like a nice little waiting room. But at this point, I do think, now that we've gotten all the gemstones in the actual work orders, everything else is cosmetic. Court music is going to take diamonds. We're going to be doing that, though, obviously, after we get the actual upgrades we need. Let's put down some flowers.
Let's go with this one then. I'm sure
Might as well make things a little bit more homely since we're actually staying here, now that Persephone's here. Oh, we gave him to Nyx.
Flowers, clean that up.
No, Nyx liked him.
here's the commission.
Does that change the flowers?
Brighten up the mood a little bit.
Oh, okay. I think the same ones do just change him. That suits Nyx's color scheme a little bit better.
House with flowers, boy.
I don't associate 80s with flowers. I just like... Ooh. I kind of want to get that for good old Cerberus. I'm still so glad every single run that we don't actually have to fight Cerberus. I would have felt so bad. Hi, Skelly. Once again, before we forget, let's just make sure we're looking at the aspects here. So the one I have was actually max level. It just maybe wasn't the one I was equipping. So, after absorbing your Specialist Blast, that wouldn't have been so good with our last boon, but it could be interesting. But yeah, we're going to go back to this one. That's it. I don't know how to unlock the question mark aspects. It does look like the bow is the next one. I am not the biggest fan of the bow, but we need darkness. We need more winds. We'll give it a try. What was our aspect here? Okay. So critical attack chance, just straight up. I really like that. It synergizes really well if we go for Artemis. So you know what? What we're going to do, since we really haven't equipped it a whole lot, we're going to take Artemis's arrowhead, and we're going to start with an Artemis boon on the bow with Artemis.
Can take on farther now.
Heat gauge exceeded, so we haven't done heat gauge 2. So in that case, let's lower the Hydrophyte, make that a little bit less overwhelming, and take something a little bit simpler. Traps and Magma deal... Ooh. I'm going to go back to Tight Deadline. On 2, it just... On 1 heat cost extra for Tight Deadline, it gives you 9 minutes per floor. Even with a slower weapon like the bow, that's like 36 minutes to clear the run. We haven't had a clear takeover like 32. And that was a really slow run. Now, which gods have we not? Do we want to give one to Poseidon, probably? Poseidon, Ares, Dionysus. And I'm going to give one to Demeter as soon as I see her, once again. But let's see, so attack is stronger with higher chance. So we got 2 crit chances here. I'm actually going to go with the attack here for now. The special could pay off, but it takes a very specific build, I feel, to make that work. Locked, requires 5 feet. Okay, so it looks like you can do a challenge with those special heat gates for an extra boon or something to that effect. That's really cool, actually. It might be a while before we get there, because we're going to try and work our way through the heat rinks. But I plan to play this game for a while. We are going to take a bit of a hiatus once again. Once Fire Emblem Warriors comes out, I'm planning on doing the Arataki Ito drumming event in Genshin all at once. And next Wednesday, I believe it will be, because it comes out usually late at night for me on Tuesday, we'll be doing another Genshin Impact stream. So we'll see. But here we can do your power shot is easier to execute and deals extra damage. Oh, interesting. Your attack hits up to 3 foes. All of these are actually not bad. Triple shot would make it easier to... good for crowd control. Power shot gives us a better chance to get our super power shot when it flashes for a second. And then we have chain shot. I'm actually going to try triple shot here, because I think that just freed crowd control. The same could have obviously been said about the chain shot. I just don't know which one would have been more useful. So I figured we'd try something that sounded interesting. Chain shot I think probably would have bounced automatically. But like I was saying, honestly, either one should be helpful. But the important thing here with the time limit is just to make sure we're not dilly-dallying too long, taking a long time to like decide what we want. But usually not a huge issue. Like, it really isn't. Unless we're really, like, stopping. And thankfully it pauses in between and such. We do need more darkness. I'm going to grab keys, though, for more nectar, because my goal right now is to get as close to as many Olympians as I can. Yeah, this triple shot is not hitting as many enemies as I'd hoped. I am curious, though, if I'm up close and personal with, like, a larger enemy, like maybe Asterius, if it'll just hit all 3 enemies. But when we can make use of that, very helpful. I also have to wonder... Yeah, it seemed like all 3 attacks hit that. I also have to wonder if we were to get chain shot, if all of them would bounce too, which would be really cool. Demeter, that's fine. We'll give her a Nectar right now. I actually think one of the best builds for special... I also just realized there was a Chaos Gate in the previous room that I didn't go to. That's a bit unfortunate. I always try to go to the first floor one for some free power. But no harm, no foul. It's alright. At the end of the day, the bow, funnily enough, I feel really confident usually on the first couple floors with the bow. I remember thinking when I was first clearing the Hydra, that was going to be really difficult. And it might be on the new arena when we get to there. But until then, I don't think it'll be a huge issue.
I am forever in your debt for the affection that you've shown to me, and for the power you...
Nice. Alright, let's see what she gives us. Honestly, that dash slow was pretty helpful last time. I wouldn't mind the cast crystals. Your attack is stronger and inflicts chill. So the problem with replacing this here is that's 50% more damage, but we also lose 30%. Well, we'll still keep our base 15 from our aspect, but we lose 15% crit chance. I still think that's probably worth it. That's a pretty massive increase. The problem with getting Demeter's slowing attack on the bow's basic attack is we can't actually max out stacks or even come close to it, usually. But I would still say that's enough of a damage increase to warrant it, unless we got crit stacking multipliers, which might not be the case. Now, we may regret that, but again, part of this game is just learning new things every run, so let's see how this goes. Yeah, not bad. Free Darkness is good. An Athena boon. I do like Dash Deflect. I don't think it's as helpful in a ranged weapon, so let's see. Perfect. Let's go for another Demeter perk. Again, the more and more you have of a given god, the more and more they synergize, I think the more helpful it is. This god's a little bit obnoxious to fight with the bow because we have to stand still and it likes to teleport around. So it's harder to get a power shot without taking some damage here. I could use Batty. Again, it keeps suggesting me. I didn't even use Batty last run. I feel like I just need to be more frugal with the uses. We have 5 per run and we just can't use them on the Furies, which makes sense. I just don't like using them, and then when it gets to the point I'm like, oh, maybe I need to use them, I don't. Ow. There we go. But it does seem like all 3 attacks will hit her right up in their faces. Ooh, that's interesting. So we could go for more chill with the special. I'm actually not super in love with that. I'm going to go for this. Restore health now. Any future healing effects are more effective. Another Nectar is great. But that's one of those investments for the rest of the run. Even though we don't have a whole lot of max HP right now, eventually that could save us a lot of health. Because that's basically any healing effect, I believe including fountains, makes us way safer if we mess up. Which, you know, I'm not the cleanest player. Well, we'll see. Yeah, when you can get right up in melee range on an enemy like that, being able to hit him with all 3 arrows is crazy DPS. It's very nice. And we got a free upgrade there because of that pomegranate buff. Very helpful. The only downside to this is, I'm going to agree. Let's go for a Demeter and an Artemis boon here. A little bit dangerous once again. But we're going to go with the one that we've already invested a lot into. So dash for chill. Ooh, I really, again, want to try these, but I think the issue with this is we don't have the ability to consistently apply chill without something like the dash. So we're going to go with what's good standalone. Those other perks are very synergistic heavy, and I just don't think we can make a whole lot of use of them right now. Ooh, I did not think that was going to hit me. Oops. That I just wasn't paying attention. Ooh, with the number of charging enemies, I'm also trying to avoid, obviously, Artemis's arrows. We're taking a bit of damage here. I think this is also the last thing we get before the first floor boss fight. So hopefully we won't lose a death to fight here for taking some damage, because we haven't increased our max health like at all. For some reason we have an extra 5 max health. I don't even remember what that's from. I'm glad for it, but I don't actually remember what that's from. Alright, a little painful. It's fine.
Alright, I'm going to forgive you now.
Oh, I gave you like a Nectar last run too. Dash Strike deals more damage. No, even though that's an epic, I like my current one. We can do Seeking Cast or free critical hit chance. I'm just going to go for Seeking Cast for now. I think that'll be helpful at the moment. Maybe not later. It is a common boon again, but some of the common boons I think are more helpful. And that wasn't actually the last thing we got before our boss fight, which is helpful to know. Because I was a little concerned about that. Just on the instance that if that was the last thing we get, we would have had to run into the first Fury fight with not a whole lot of health. Which wouldn't have been a huge concern, I don't think, but it's never ideal. I don't like to do that. It makes me a little bit worried. And we do recover 3 health in between. Again, we're not going to be able to do this for quite some time. That's fine. It's still nice to have. Let's go for Aphrodite. Weak effect is helpful. See what she gives us. I actually think that the basic attack on Aphrodite, depending on what rarity, is a higher damage increase than Demeter's. So in all honesty, if it gives me the opportunity to replace my basic attacks here, I might. We'll just have to see. Because we're getting some chill stacks, and I think every single arrow when we're up in their faces like this will apply an instance of chill. But still, once again, with the bow attack being what it is, it's still just not consistent chill. So I don't think it's worth investing too heavily into, despite how many Demeter perks we have. How many have we given Aphrodite? We've given her 2, and I can't imagine that. And the gods I think the most will be important for the plan are probably Zeus and Demeter. Let's get everyone up to 2. So your special deals more damage, inflicts weak. Dash, this is a good dash as well, but you know what, let's go for the special. We didn't have a buff on our special. Extra 80% damage, inflicts weak, 4 seconds, enemies deal less damage. Very helpful. Makes it more valuable to just get a quick little, you know, just a quick little special out every now and then. I also do want to try the aspect that we saw. That makes it so that you fire less arrows with your special, but they seek. I think that could be really cool. I don't know if it'd be good, but I think it could be cool. Let's see what this gives us. Upgrade 4. Dash damage, I just don't think is important. Cast damage is nice. Special damage is nice. It's either 22% damage on special or a flat 42 damage on that. I do think that's a little bit more right now. I do want immediate power. Helps us through the early floors, just in case. Because we've actually taken quite a bit of time here. We're down to 3 minutes, so we need to be careful. Ooh, I should have taken Side Hustle, actually. That was a mistake. That's fine. Resist damage from traps. I'm actually going to take that. I've never taken it before, and I run into traps and lava all the time. But we're going to need to hurry, because this has been a pretty lengthy first floor. Usually we've been clearing the first floor on the 9-minute timer with like 5 or 6 to go. But again, we are using the bow. If any run's going to run close on that timer, it is probably this one. Ooh, and Tisiphony's not a fight that I enjoy. It's going to be hard to get close to her as well for the 3 hits. When we can, though, that's big DPS. Yeah, it's definitely scary, but I don't know if it's worth it to sack some health, though, to do that. Oh, because we're tearing her down pretty fast when we do that. Like, you can see how much damage it does. Ooh. But we also take a lot of damage when we do stuff like that. Oh, gosh. Wow, that was not bad at all, though. Very risky. We might be very much in position to go for some more Hermes boons to get some defensive ability, if we're going to do that. But with the triple shot, that's a lot of damage when we do that. So we might give that a try. Now then, as for deciding which one we want to switch to, because this is no longer helpful to us, we could go for Aphrodite basic attacks. I'm actually just going to go for the free money. Once again, I usually greed for this second floor. I think it's just nice. Just a free chunk of money. How much is it? 125? Not bad at all. We only had like 12 money before. Gives us a much higher chance to get boons. But let's see what happens here. Alright, but we gotta hurry. As I step on the lava. I don't know if I took damage there, but I swear I did. That's why I'm so afraid. There is a 1-level pact on the Pact of Punishment that gives you 400% trap and lava damage, which is only really going to be a huge issue, I would say, on this floor. But for me personally, going to be a big, pretty big issue on this floor. Ooh, I ran straight into that. But as always, I don't think the timer is going to be a huge issue, but we did run a little bit closer than usual on that early floors. Later floors are naturally going to take less time. I mean, more time.
Which way?
So it's best to be careful. I'd love another Artemis boon. We don't even have a full health upgrade, though. Max health upgrades are usually 15. Are usually 25. We're only sitting at 15 above max. Above base. Yeah, anytime we can get up close and personal. All 3 of those arrows hitting, crazy DPS. Especially when enemies spawn like that. That's crazy good. Like, I'm quite satisfied with it. Again, I don't know if the seeking arrows would have been good, but the DPS that we've been getting, because it would have made it less likely that we, miss. And it is a bit more dangerous of a playstyle to get so close. But it's quite helpful. I know I talked about another Hermes boon. I'm going to take the chance to get more max health, though, while I can. Because sometimes, usually there's one offered on the last floor, but it might be through an elite fight. It's Thanatos, okay. If we can beat Thanatos, we do get, I think, extra max health. That could be all we need for the rest of the run, really. But we'll see. It just depends on what enemies spawn. Whether or not... Oh! Whether or not we can beat Thanatos. But Thanatos basically... I think Thanatos does better against larger health enemies. Simply because Thanatos puts that little purple buff on them. And then they instantly die after a short amount of time. Whereas we, on the other hand, we can steal those kills from him, but he can also steal kills from us doing that. There's also a treasure trove here. We'll see what's in it. If it's just, like, health, I probably won't, or gemstones. But we'll see. Alright, we gotta talk to Thanatos. So, yep, see, he gave us extra max health. Thank you. Alright. What do we got? Restore health. That would bring us to full, most likely. I'm not gonna worry about it now, though. Could be nice. Would have probably been a good idea. But I'm not worried enough about it to go for that, really. Oh, gosh. Yeah, a little bit dangerous to get close to the Medusa. Because she'll fire those stones out that petrify us. Which, oh, make the little statue a little bit more dangerous. But once again, up close damage. Crazy high. Ooh, didn't think I'd take damage there. The shield on this thing is always kind of obnoxious to kill. So I'm glad we have good burst damage. Like, oh, that was crazy nice. We have 2 nectars right now. Alright, after you deal critical damage, if only it is marked. That is really good. But again, our crit is... We have base 15 with our aspect. Not the most reliable thing. Same thing with that. We're going to do this though, exit wounds. Whenever we stick our tracking, you know, from our cast into enemies, when it's dislodged and it pops out, they'll take a little bit of extra damage. So, not bad at all. Free damage is free damage. And again, it's damage that we don't have to pay attention to. We also... I'm glad we didn't waste time fighting that treasure hoard. Because we got healing right away. And hey, it's Eurydice. I don't know if I need to raise Eurydice and Orpheus's affection to help them. That would make sense to me, because I've had so many conversations with them. But I'm not going to worry about it till we try and get, like, the quote-unquote true ending with everyone else.
Am I ever?
What, you think I get a lot of guests?
Alright, so then. We could raise the rarity of boons. The problem is, it's not super controllable when you have so many boons, what these go into. You know, because that's either 4 levels for a bunch of random things, which could be good. Also raises the rarity of 2 boons, also could be really good. But you know, let's invest in the next 3 boons having upgraded rarity. It's just, the more boons I have on the 2nd floor, the less I can control where those upgrades go. And sometimes they go into completely useless things. So, and again, to be fair, upgraded boons in the future can also be really useless. I feel like Eurydice is very much one of those, she gives you a lot of potential for the run to become stronger, which is never a bad thing. Any max life chamber rewards are worth more. A little bit late for that, honestly. Would have been good a little bit earlier in the floor. We could go for longer duration on weak or more potent weak. So that'd be 42% less damage for 4 seconds. Let's do that. We haven't been firing our special a whole lot, but we do need to be, because it's a lot of damage reduction. Yeah, see, like that upgraded our dash damage. It's not nothing. We do dash a lot, even with the ranged weapons. But I don't think it's the most helpful thing in the world. Back to the old arena, though. There we go. Not bad at all. We could use Batty here, but I'm not worried about it. Oh. Not worried about it usually until at least the 2nd Hydra phase. That's where I feel like if I'm going to take a bunch of damage on this fight, that's where it's going to happen. Not that I don't take damage otherwise, but oh, kind of like that. But as always, just try and get rid of that as fast as possible. Alrighty, come on. We'll use 1 Batty here. That wasn't bad. I actually think that only hit 1 Hydra because the other one hadn't spawned in, as far as I could tell. You know what, 1 more. Oh, we can only do it once per room. That's actually really good to know. Because in that case, I might use it a little more frugally. I thought I could spam it out in certain rooms. I've never tried to use it more than once in a room. Okay, I'm sure that also probably says it on the description of Batty. I just wasn't paying attention. But it's weird having to get up close for the all 3 shots with the bow. Because usually that's like the advantage the bow has. But it's way more damage than it would be otherwise. So I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. Not a bad Hydra fight. And on to Elysium. Very nice. Got some healing here. The decision now is, do we want the acorn or do we want to be greedy for some more power? I'm kind of tempted to be greedy. Extra 10% damage there. I just think it's better safe than sorry. We really don't try out extra perks as much as we should for the keepsakes, because again, we need to try and equip everyone at least once. But I know what I like, I know it works for me. That's generally what I tend to go for. What have we got? Money or more hammer? Nice. This is what I'm talking about, though. Usually I feel like you can get 2 if you go for them. But getting more than that is a little bit difficult. I don't know if that's intentional because of how... It's probably intentional just because of how powerful the Daedalus Hammer perks are. But not going to stop me from going for them when I see them. Like, usually, if I see Daedalus Hammer, it's like an instant, that's what I'm going for. Unless there's something else I really need. Ooh. Yeah, we don't have the fastest clear, but again, it's not bad. Let's see what it gives us, though. Attack deals extra damage to distant foes. That's kind of... Ooh, interesting. So explosive shot would be kind of hard to work with. It does give you a lot of extra damage, but it makes it charge up really slowly. We'll take sniper shot. The idea here is that even though we're trying to be up close, it's kind of an anti-synergy. This lets us do more damage when we're hitting all 3 shots up close, or extra damage when we're away. Either way, that kind of hurts us less when we have to be safe, is my thought. But it could arguably be the correct decision to go for an actual, like, one of the ones, like, because charge shot, the big charge shot does do a lot of damage. But again, I don't like to be a sitting duck for too long. And when we tried that last time, we did complete the run. And it could make for a really good, like, shotgun burst when we're up close. But then that's extra time that we're just sitting right in front of an enemy trying to charge up our 3 shots. So, maybe not the best choice, but the one I went with. Yeah, we definitely seem to do more damage from up close still, landing all 3 shots. But once again, that just gives me some safety when I can't get up close. Because without a doubt, there are enemies in this game that you do not want to just be sitting in front of. Here we go. Alright, shop or Hermes? Let's go for Hermes. No need to go to a shop this early. There should be another one, as always, towards the end. Might as well get the free boon here. Ooh, I thought I killed this one. That's awkward. That one ran straight into a trap. Once again, not super impressed with our damage outputs. Maybe we didn't go enough for, like, pomegranate upgrades. Oh, I thought I could... You should never play chicken with enemies in this game, I swear. I do it a lot, and then I immediately regret it, and I'm like, why did I do that? Alright, what else is alive? Surely it's something up in this corner, maybe? Oh. How did I... Was that there the entire time? Wait. Hermes, have I given you 2? I have given Hermes 2. Alright, special is faster, attack is faster. We're gonna go for a faster attack. Yeah, faster charge. In that case, I think maybe I should have gone for explosive shot. Once again, there was no way to know. So, double fight or Aphrodite? That's a tough one. That is a tough one because we actually have quite the number of boons. We just don't have super strong boons. Aphrodite's boons are usually pretty good. But I think the best thing we could possibly get from Aphrodite would be like longer charm duration because we're not applying it a whole lot with our special. Or a better attack damage. So let's go for the double boon. Let's go quantity over quality this run and see how it pans out. I will go for Artemis most likely here.
They're making me choose.
Yep, so critical effects do even more damage to armor. I want the Seeking Arrow. I do want to try that eventually with the critical build, and we do have a higher base chance for crit, at least with just our base 15% plus the cast. But I still just feel the need to go for that. Ah. The Seeking Arrow is a lot of free DPS. Like, any chance I get to go for it, I just think it's helpful. Even if you could say it's not the best decision, it's free DPS, and that's what it comes down to. It's interesting that Aphrodite makes I don't think I've ever chosen against Aphrodite, or at least if I have, it's been a long time. Because she's occasionally just giving shields to the enemies here, which is actually really interesting. Alright, what else is there? Gotta be careful though. Ooh. Right after I said that, I got hit like twice. Alright, this call is really good, but I never used it in time. So I'm just going to take 5% damage resistance. The call would have been really good, but I never used it in time. Legitimately, every time I've taken that, I've used it at a really poor time. Ow. Yeah, like I was saying, definitely not a fast run by any means, but not a run that I think I can't clear, which is ultimately the goal. But it could be a little bit too early to speak on that, to be fair. But I do think I'll be okay. Yeah, triple shot served us well. I do think the whole distant arrow reasoning I took maybe wasn't the best, but it made sense to me at the time. Money or Aphrodite boon? Again, we could go for a better attack. I'm just going to go for the money here because that'll let us buy one later. And the boons on the 4th floor especially do get really expensive. And we did pass up on the money every room earlier, which is usually what I like to go for. I don't even remember what we took instead, but... oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I get the nasty feeling that this might be a run where we lose a Death Defy to Asterios and Theseus just because of how long the fight's gonna take. Especially since, you know, I don't want to be standing right in Asterios in Theseus' face. That usually doesn't pan out well. There's some money. Shop or pomegranate. Well, we were just talking about why we felt we needed more pomegranate upgrades. I'm really hoping for a basic attack upgrade here, in all honesty. Our cast alone seemed to do pretty decent damage, but I am glad I took the Seeking Arrows. The extra damaged armor could have theoretically been nice, but it was dependent on us getting a crit. Which, me and crit luck in any game, not the best of friends. Let's get rid of the Invuln Crystal first. Oh, there's another one down here. Since the rest of the enemies, if we can... Again, the issue is if we keep our distance, as you usually do with the bow, we aren't landing our triple shots, we are still getting the extra damage from far away enemies. But I just don't think that's the ideal scenario here. I think we do way more DPS from close range. Alright, cast. So, extra 4 damage for every one of the crystals that dislodge is nice. I'm going to go for the Seeking Arrow. It's only 2 extra damage, but you got to consider the quantity that we're chucking out. Should be helpful. We haven't really been rerolling rooms a whole lot either. We could have been, but I haven't really felt the need to. Ow. Oh, I thought I dashed and got hit by that twice. Yeah, those regenerate kind of fast. It's a little bit scary. I don't think they regenerate with shields, thankfully, but still not what you want to see. Alright, what else is spawning? Ooh, chariots. Scary. Yeah, we need to be careful. We're taking a lot of chip damage. Hopefully there will be healing in the last shop. But there's no guarantee of that. That's why I was saying I do think I'm probably going to lose a life to Asterios and Theseus. If not more than one, honestly. Which hasn't happened in a while, but again, I don't think we have a super strong build. And we're sitting here, my main concern is if I'm standing still trying to charge up shots, especially close range, Asterios is going to hit me, and Theseus is going to start chucking spears at me. And I'm going to get hit, and it's going to hurt. Ooh. Come on, shield there. There we go. These rooms are taking quite a bit of time, though, and it is concerning. Another dash level? Well, it's not nothing. Here we gotta go for the shop here. I'm pretty sure this is the shop right before the fight. We need healing here, ideally. And we do get bonus healing, right? That was a good chunk of healing. Not as much. Again, that's... I'm gonna take 13% damage resistance here. And I'm gonna take a load of extra attack damage. We do have stacking resistance, though, between Athena and Aphrodite, which is nice. Well, let's see how this fight goes. I'm not super confident.
Rematch.
It is as the
Ooh, thank goodness we brought the acorn. I'm just gonna call him Batty now. It's a good chunk of burst. I guess it would be broken if you could just dump all of them all at once. But I do wish that was the case. That would make things a lot easier. That's, okay, I have still 4 resistors. Okay. That's one more. Yeah, when we can get up close and personal with all of our gems in an enemy. Oh gosh, that's the problem with that. That spear pullback. The issue we're having is he's getting rid of 2 of our resists when we bring the acorn there. Which is actually really bad for us. Here we go. Asterius is almost dead. Very nice. And we did it before Theseus got... Ooh, okay. We're out of resist, though. It's kind of funny how Theseus has the spin attack, but I feel like I get hit by Theseus's way less than I get hit by, Ooh, who's this? This is, oh, it's Poseidon. To be fair, I don't think we have a Poseidon boon this run, do we? Ow. Ooh, okay. Where did he... Oh, he's Mind Pillar. Maybe I'm underestimating our damage output, because we really didn't take that much damage there. I will take it. That wasn't bad at all.
That's one champion unseated. Guess I'll be going then.
Yep, let's be on our way. Healing. I think we're just going to stick with the acorn. Once again, I think it's just very helpful. Extra life could be helpful as well, but I usually only go switch off the acorn for the extra life if I really feel I need it. And I think it'll like benefit more from it, which is usually if I lost a Death to Fight or 2 to Theseus and the Minotaur, it usually just makes me feel a little bit better. But in this case, I think we'll be okay. Alright, so what do we got here? A little bit of max life. Yeah, let's go. I always go for the cheaper things first. You could argue that like a Hermes perk could be good here. But free boon, a little bit of max health. Oh, and it's a duo.
Nice.
I got a legendary. Interesting. So I got a duo for critical effects do more damage to weak foes. That would be helpful, but again, I don't know how likely that is. Our weak effects also have a 15% chance to charm foes. That's really good. We only have it on our, to my knowledge, our Castier. But that's a chance for it to charm. And you know what? At that case, let's go for here. Because if we can switch our chilling attacks over to charm, which again, no guarantee. Now that we have that, though, that could be crazy good. We've seen that charm doesn't really work really well on Hades, but it does knock him out of a lot of his attacks. Like, if you fire off a charm from the call immediately, it'll actually stop him from doing his laser. Or at least interrupt it, which is crazy awesome, honestly. But with only a 15% chance on that legendary, and we've never seen that legendary before too, which is super cool. I think the only standalone legendary, not counting like the fishing buff and stuff we've got, the only quote-unquote legendary from the prophecy list we've seen was the Athena damage buffer. This one's also, though, to be fair, a little underwhelming in my opinion. But charm is still very strong. It's not bad. It's just one of those, like, when I think legendary, I think like, oh, this is going to carry the run by itself. And honestly, that boon literally wouldn't do anything if you didn't have anything else from Aphrodite, because you need the ability to charm. But again, never look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm very happy with that. To see another legendary is super cool. And I actually don't always mind these arenas with the Saw Blades. You can deflect them, but a lot of times they do a lot of damage to the enemies for you. I do mind the satyrs, though. Ooh, and these. Not a fan. Ooh, and they're... Oh, yeah, I was going to say, those you can stagger those really easily when they don't have a shield. When they do... Or armor, I mean. When they do have armor, they're a bit more of an issue. Those running in Saw Blades. See, there's a charm. Any charm, though, for free is helpful. Alright, Aphrodite, what have you got? That's not helpful. When you take damage, damage foes and inflict weak. Weak afflicted foes are more susceptible to damage. This would be really good if we did just cast arrow, cast arrow. Revenge damage is okay. I'm gonna try that though. Means we just gotta go cast arrow. Not the fastest combo by any means, but could be good. Let's grab that max health. We still so we basically have a little bit under 15 minutes to take out the rest of the run. I'm actually gonna see what we can get this to. Artemis, that's fine. With the synergy we have, I don't mind having a little bit more Artemis power. We haven't spec'd too hard into critical damage, which is what I was initially going to do, because we even started with the keepsake that gives us an Artemis buff to start. But overall, this run has not been the most powerful run by any means, but it hasn't been bad. And that's all you can really ask for with this game, honestly. Nice. Okay, that's a lot earlier than I thought it would be. Oh. Okay. That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. It's only one extra... Oh, no, is it 2 extra casts? Yeah, it's 2 extra casts. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. I didn't even know that could happen. I will gladly take that. Let's take... Ooh, no matter what, this is quite a bit of extra damage. I'm actually going to go for the attack damage here, though. I think that'll be more consistent. 2 levels on the arrows that we fire automatically was only another 2 damage. I do think the extra percentile on attack will be more, and I do think that the dislodge damage actually would have been more when we have 5 of them. But I've never seen, again, aside from the fishing one, which I really don't count, we're talking about the specific legendaries from each god shown up in like our prophecy book. I'd only seen the Athena one before this run, and then we randomly got 2 back-to-back. That's crazy.
Come all this way again to fall to me.
We haven't been losing to Hades, though, to be fair. You also have to consider, too, we have that buff, and I'm pretty sure it just stacks pretty hard. That for every gem in an enemy, they take extra damage. So if we have an extra 2 of those in an enemy, that could potentially be really good. That's 2 of our resist down. We're being a little bit reckless here, admittedly. We can get rid of those skulls as long as we're in close range. It's nice that those seek as well. Makes it more likely that hit. Even if it wasn't necessarily on the enemy we were going for, we are obviously going for Hades. Ooh, we're down to 1 resist though. Still free damage. That's our last resist out. Have not been playing the cleanest. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy to see 5 gems though. I've had 4 before, or I mean 3, I think. Wait, do we start with 3? I've had 1 extra because of the chaos buff. I've never had 2 extras. And imagine if we invested early into that, you know? We could have had like 6 of these casts. We could have done some fun builds with like, I don't know, crystals. I just got hit by that twice because I dodged into it. I've done that quite a few times actually. It's always awkward. Oh gosh. I'm regretting a little bit that we don't have a call. But the only call that I can recall being offered to us was the Athena one, which would have been some damage mitigation. And I would have liked just a little bit more damage here in all honesty. Alright, second phase though, 3 Death Defiance. It's going to take some major messing up to lose this fight. Even if we aren't doing the most damage, like, it's going to take some messing up. Oh. Oh gosh. Is that laser? Yep. But yeah, we're definitely good on time. I think, once again, once it goes down to like 7 minutes per floor, that would have been cutting it. Because it would have been, on this run even, it would have been cutting it close on the first floor. but I don't think it's a huge issue. So that could be... I'm just keeping in mind what heat levels we could maybe raise for the future. In terms of, like, what would be easy heat levels, what would be more manageable to do. Because obviously some of them are going to be more dangerous than others, you know? That's why some of them also... Oh! That's not good. Oh, gosh. That was not a good place to be stuck. To be fair, we also ran to the wrong pillar there. I didn't think about those little green pots there. They do damage to you, and then... You know, they also, like, root you or stun you to something. Woo, okay. Get rid of that. We didn't get rid of that in time. Oh gosh, that didn't hit that. Oh. Awkward. Yeah, definitely not playing the best, but he's almost dead. Like we shouldn't have any issue finishing this run out. All right, very, very nice. I will take it.
Say hi to Hypnos for me.
We're about to go say hi to Hypnos too. Yeah, that's crazy though. Again, I don't count things like Batty as a legendary. I don't count things like the Aspect. And we just randomly started. I still don't know why. But it was randomly a legendary one time that didn't show up on the prophecy list. And I'll show you that prophecy here once we get back. But oh, while we do this, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick though. But well,
The underworld prince is getting rather good at this. But let us say he perished anyhow. Oh, damn it!
Feels like it's been a while, everybody.
still good to get a successful run with the bow. I'm just not a big fan of the bow. Hey, Deuce actually has a conversation. She's talking to Persephone.
It's my great pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hi.
Call me Dusa, please. I'm your house custodian, and I am at your service. Anything you need, just call, okay?
Dusa, wonderful to know you. This house is immaculate. Night and day difference from before. Now I know exactly whom to compliment.
Thanks so much.
They're both so nice.
Thank you in turn.
I think Achilles is just looping conversations though.
Within the codex, you'd written something about some.
Although I don't think I've heard about this. Was Achilles in mythology?
Private matter for me, lad.
Oh.
From the time I had convinced
In mythology, was Achilles actually, did he have someone he was with? I know in like the movie he did,
really worth mentioning. And I'm
but that was not exactly a
begging your pardon.
faithful to the story movie, I'd imagine.
Oh, of course, sir.
Regarding your responsibilities,
Oh,
our resources director is available to you. In my
Resources
private
director.
quarters. No,
The fabled resources director.
you get to
hold on.
What's the point in rising above my...
It is.
There's no point, but yeah. Yeah, they're just talking about that now. Yeah, I was gonna say authority granted, rank advancement. I want to see what this is. That's really interesting.
Keeping busy,
Hi.
resources director. It's been a while, resources.
You officially serve the House of Hades as its dedicated security specialist. Your work is conducted in relative secrecy. Employment is at will for an indefinite term. Should you earn sufficient resources during your efforts, you may donate them back to the Underworld via the Resources Director to advance in rank and earns a fancy badge. Your rank is purely symbolic. Okay. So that's something we do. Keys and dark. Okay, that's one of those things we do once we've upgraded everything. Which is still admittedly a ways off. But that's neat. That's neat that they gave something else for like keys. Because we really don't have a use for keys aside from exchanging for nectar at this point.
Doing music making as a recreational pursuit, my friend.
I do personally. I don't think Zacharias does.
Hands, why, I believe you do quite well at it.
Not really been at the top of my list of late, mate.
Yeah, that's fair.
But who knows? It's something I've been meaning to try at some point, I suppose. Thanks for the words of encouragement.
Nice.
Of course, my friend.
I just like a lot of the people here. I think they're just sweethearts.
Here.
Aside from like Hades, but Hades is getting better, you know? We could go look for next. The prophecy I was talking about was... Oh, we got the last one from Athena.
Can't believe Lady Athena's
Was... if I can find it. Yeah. Earned various legendary boons. So fully loaded was extra casts. Unhealthy fixation. I don't remember what that is. Divine protection was Athena's. Splitting bolt, I'm pretty sure. Wait, so it's probably fully loaded was Artemis's. I'm assuming unhealthy fixation was, I don't remember the names of them, was Aphrodite. Divine protection was Athena. Splitting bolt, I don't recall having that, so maybe I'd had an extra one. But it looks like we need second wave. That's obviously Poseidon. Vicious cycle is probably Ares. Blackout, greater recall, bad news. Winter harvest, I'd imagine, is Demeter. We'll just see as we go, though. It's interesting to see. We're 3 darkness short of being able to get the next tier on our legendary chance, but it's cool to see them, you know? Really have not seen those a whole lot. But let's just jump back into another run. We currently have 4 nectar to work with. We can give them to... I was saving them for the gods that we had like 2 affinity with, and then we didn't see any of them. So, that was interesting. I don't want to do the shield. Game, have mercy. Ugh. Let's see. We don't want to start with the acorn. Let's try something we don't do often. So that could be Ares. Athena, Poseidon we haven't done. We have done Zeus. We're looking for 1-stars that basically don't have anything on them. The problem with not broken spear point, the one that increases damage is, or like the one that increases dodge, is I don't know if we keep that buff even if we switch keepsakes. Which is something, you know, could be worth testing out. Let's try Dionysus though. I have no idea if that's going to be good. And then double checking aspect, we have attack and dash strike damage, very helpful. That's about all I do on melee weapons. We've only done ranged weapons so far today. Heat gauge full, new bounties. Okay, so we'll continue with this. 9-minute timer for floor. Stream measures, different first floor. Not a big deal. Let's see. I don't know if... I've gotten different boons at the very start. Okay, it did give me Dionysus though. And I was going to gift this real quick. Alright then. So attack inflicts hangover. I do like that. We're going to try it. So basically hangover gives you ticking damage. You can stack it up a little bit. I don't know if there's a max limit on stacks. But either way, that's 3 ticking damage for every hit we get. And we smack them a lot with melee weapons. If we find something better, as always, we switch. But until then, could be serviceable. I fire all of those straight into the wall. Oops. I'm still not sure what... I usually just go for like a dash strike build with the shield. I have no idea what's actually good. Again, I know you can do like the charge attack build. You block things when you charge up. I don't use the charge attack nearly as much as I should. And I know it's not the best thing because it's part of the kit, but just not really my style of play. Alright, let's go for darkness. I think we have a bit more use for that than gemstones. Ooh, dash attacks are so good here. Yeah, the hangover, as you can see, it's just free ticking damage. Not bad at all. More max health. I don't mind getting my max health early. You could obviously get boons like Athena's. Not Athena's, Aphrodite's. I didn't know both those gates could appear in the same room either. These two. But that kind of increased max health gains later on. But by no means do I think that's actually necessary. I usually just go for like a 200 health threshold. Anything more is great. Anything less is fine. Ares boon. We do want to visit Ares, but I'm going for the Chaos Gate. We skipped it last time, and I did kind of regret it. I think if you can slog through those first rooms that you take out debuff for, Chaos's boons just tend to be extremely powerful. So then, cannot collect those. That's not a bad deal. Cast deals extra damage. Chamber reward previews being hidden is actually kind of a problem sometimes. So let's go for the over double damage striking foes behind, because when you're dashing and attacking with the melee weapon, it's more than likely that you're getting some of that. And all it is it makes our cast take longer to come back. Not a big deal. Not, you know, not the most helpful thing in the world, but not a big deal. Because you see they just sit down there for like 11 seconds. If we were playing a build that was more reliant on that, it would be annoying. But we're not. So I'm not worried about it. It's bombardiers. Just gotta watch the bomb. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a little bit hard for me to see him sometimes in the midst of everything. Do we need to give... We're at 3 with Zeus. Again, I'm gonna focus on Demeter, because she is our grandmother. We need to... If anyone we need to increase relationships with, I would assume it's be her in specific, obviously followed by Zeus. As far as our one affinity goes, we got Poseidon and Ares, and we have 3 nectars, so I might just save one for Poseidon, Ares, and Demeter, and if we don't see him, maybe we'll give some to anyone else. I really don't know if it matters. Let's see. Let's go for Electric Shot here. It's one of those low investment casts that are helpful. Even if we can't get him back for a little bit for now, don't consider that a huge issue. Like there, we just threw him for some quick chain damage. Yeah, as you can see, the ticking damage stacking up on enemies is helpful. I think it's more helpful on bosses than regular rooms. Okay, Deathless Hammer. I've stated this in the previous runs we've done today. I'm not the biggest fan of Deathless Hammer on the shield, but let's see what it gives us. Yeah, charged up, Bull Rush. We're obviously going to do the dash strike increase. But in general, this is like the one weapon, if I have the choice between that and something else, I might just go for something else, you know? There's Demeter. I don't think, yeah, you can't give it to, give him the Nectar here, but whenever you cast, a little bit of AoE, especially with Stronger and Inflicts Chill. I'm not the biggest fan of any of these. Let's go for Snowburst, try that. Is this Thanatos or is this Hades? It's Thanatos. Alright, well, as always, if we beat Thanatos, we get some free max health. Very, very helpful. Ooh, and it's enemies that we can definitely kill pretty fast. That's always super helpful. I didn't see, he's still sitting at 0. The dangerous enemies, as always, with Thanatos, for him passing you, are the enemies with a lot of health, in my opinion, that he's going to insta-kill. Because if he can just clear through a ton of enemies real fast, he doesn't get that chance. So, yeah, not bad at all. I mean, we decimated him 37-3. Jeez. All right, thank you, Thanatos. The extra dash strike damage in a larger area was actually really helpful there. Unfortunately, because we just visited a shop, we can't buy another boon. Not the biggest of deals. We could buy a key, but I'm just gonna save my money. We've already got 190 max health, a decent bit of strength. It is okay. It's Meg. It's Meg with Electo. I thought we were. Well, I guess we're not. She says she doesn't keep secrets anymore from her siblings. I have a feeling that us being with her, though, maybe not the first thing she's told them. You know, just a thought. That's not the first thing I'd tell my siblings. Yeah, I think, I almost think that Dionysus's little stacks, oops, I ran straight through that, are capped at 5. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it does feel like it. Hey, she gave us a warning at me. They're just yelling at us. I'm just gonna end this fight. Pretty nice. Pretty fast first floor. Like I said last time, we had like, what, 2 to 3 minutes left? Now we have over 6. Big, big difference. I think melee weapons are stronger early. And honestly, you can get some good bow builds, some really good gun builds. I think that they're safer, especially in the late game. But that's a good example of how it changes things early. We could force Ares or Poseidon to appear here, just so that we could get their boon. Again, usually I go for the money here on the second floor. We'll try this. That way we can give... Again, Ares and Poseidon were the 2 that we are lacking level 2 on with Affection. So why not force Ares to appear? So we can give him one, and then we'll do Poseidon later. And we haven't... Again, it goes back to the whole we need to equip our stuff. Every single keepsake for a... for Prophecy. That doesn't hurt. I wouldn't mind raising my base attack level here, even if it's only 1 or 2 ticking damage. When you consider we can get 5 stacks on an enemy pretty fast, especially a boss. That's where this, again, this basic attack really shines. So, and on a melee weapon, anything not the bow, really, you can just stack that up so fast. It's obviously doing extra damage to the enemies here. But I feel like ticking damage is more effective the higher health an enemy has. Ow. Get you a lot of the enemies here? Honestly, not a lot of health. Aside from these bomb jokers. These bomb jokers obviously, you know, do, but not enough so that it's an issue. Yep, so it's only 2 extra damage per tick, but you have to consider that's 2 extra damage every half second for every single tick that we have. Very, very powerful. Gemstones or darkness. What's this? I will go for a treasure trove. If it's gemstones or life when I don't need it, I don't go for it. Darkness is kind of iffy. It depends on how confident I am in the run. But money's probably worth it, because again, you gotta consider that's probably just an extra boon at some point. Although we are taking some damage here for it. It's not the biggest of deals, not ideal, but yeah, we walked away like 30 health less, I think, for 122 money. Oh, we got a nectar. I don't know why. Probably one of our renovations. I just don't recall which one it was. I always forget, though, to charge up my shield right before that. And I also forget on, like, big projectile enemies like the witches, I can just charge up my, my shot here, and it'll block their projectiles. It makes sense because it's a shield, it's just not the first thing I think of because I'm not very smart. Here, shop, early shop or double buff. Let's go for the double buff. I think that's obviously very helpful. I'm going to pick Demeter here because I really hate... You see, like, whichever god you don't pick will fire extra things at you while you're fighting. Demeter's big frosty circles, I don't like avoiding. Alright, special stronger. You know, let's go for the healing bonus effects. Maybe not the most ideal thing there, but it's still helpful. We went through the entire last run without a call as well, so I'm not the most worried about that. I'm gonna save that healing maybe for the very end, if I don't step on it. I just try to end this as fast as possible. We're getting hit a bit by Zeus's damage, so maybe, again, I just don't know. I just feel like Demeter's circles when she summons, I know Theseus can do it as well, might be one of those things I just feel like I take more damage than I actually do, to me. But we did take a chunk of damage there. Let's try Zeus's Call. Zeus's Call is basically just free damage, not the most effective thing in the world, but I don't mind it. So money, Ares, or Demeter. We haven't given Demeter a nectar this run, and again, ties back into the whole she's our grandma thing. So, oh, it's the barge. Interesting. I don't mind the barge. Ooh, ran into that. It's danger of just doing a big dash strike, eh? We still don't have a special buff. We've been offered multiple potential special buffs, just none that really appealed to me. So I didn't go for them. Just kind of how it tends to be with me. I do the same thing with calls, though. I'm sitting there like, ah, what if I get a better one? And then I have runs like last one where I just don't end up with one. But the bouncing shield can be helpful.
I often remember that
You would make further offerings to me, even though I have made quite clear I've lately not.
She still doesn't know she's a grandma. That definitely has a lot to do with it. Ooh, I really like this one. When you have no casts, you take less damage, deal more. 10% less damage, 30% more. You have to consider, especially on bosses, we're firing those things constantly. Maybe we haven't been doing as much as we should in normal encounters, but it basically just benefits to just chuck them out immediately. And then we just take less damage, deal more damage. Very helpful. And to be fair, we should be throwing out casts even normally, just because they bounce that chain lightning. I just keep not thinking of it until a little bit late, but eh. This is gonna put me smack in the lava. Oops. Yeah, that's one of those things, though. I really wonder how Demeter's gonna take it, because everyone is terrified of her, you know? From what everyone's been saying. What we've been able to infer from what the gods say is when she finds out, she might not be very happy, especially since we found out Zeus essentially kidnapped, and even though it worked out, obviously, Zeus effectively kidnapped Persephone and brought her to the underworld, is what we found out from Hades and, you know, our conversation with him and Persephone. So I can imagine that even if she wasn't happy, And you would think she'd be happy just to find out that she was alive and okay this entire time. She's also probably going to be pretty mad, you know? Understandably so, but... Like, she's been mad enough that that's why the world's basically been in a permanent winter state the entire time, every time we've been up there. So, maybe best not to tempt fate. What's one of these? I don't know if the, I have no idea if the... I would assume that the stacks from my Dionysus ability do still hit when the stone pillar's up in the air. But I couldn't tell you for sure. Hermes, I do think this is the last shop before Hydra. Let's go to the shop. We have quite a bit of money. Hermes perk wouldn't hurt, though. Alright, Athena. We don't have an Athena so far. Dash deflect, perfect. As always, a pleasure to have that. It's only one more ticking damage there, but again, 5 stacks, extra half second. Not bad at all. I love that he just named it Lerny, though. Like, and then it started calling it Lerny the Bone Hydra. Ow. Yeah, that's not bad taking damage. You can see it doing a fair amount of damage even when I'm not able to hit the Hydra. Also kind of benefits us to like hit a few of these Hydras now, switch to the next one, keep moving. We've got 2 charges of Zeus's Call as well for the Hydras. Just get rid of some immediately. Some of them like the summon groups and such. So I just like to get rid of these. The second wave is literally the thing I'm most afraid of in this fight. By like a huge margin. Even if I take damage, I like to just end it ASAP. Yeah, pretty fast fight. We took a fair amount of damage that wasn't necessary, but still a pretty fast fight.
I'll just tuck that away.
Nice.
Let's see here.
Alrighty, so once again we could equip Poseidon's, but on the last floor, I just prefer this. Last 2 floors, I suppose. Just makes me feel a little bit better. I still don't feel the most confident in Theseus Asterius. Without those 5 free hits, I feel like I could. I mean, I say that, but like we had that fight earlier where I only took like 20 damage. But just not the most confident in it. Let's take that. I think we're okay on max health, so I'd rather just get some strength from here on out. Ooh, without having an upgraded special, it's gonna be harder to kill these. And our dash doesn't deal damage either, so that's backfired a bit. Oh my gosh. The knockback on the shield makes it harder for these to charge me. Which is honestly kind of funny. I'm just going to stand here and, yeah, make sure it doesn't hurt me. Now, these do eventually hit a wall. But, ooh, it's about to summon the sun, isn't it? Oh, yeah, no. Our desire not to take a special upgrade on this weapon is backfiring a little bit. Although apparently we're not taking damage when we dash through them like that, so that's interesting, because I actually genuinely thought we were going to keep upgrading this, even if it's one tick of damage you got against there, how much we stack it. Do we have a Hermes buff? Because we do have that mirror perk where every unique god we have something from, we get a little bit of extra damage. I have no idea. That's a thing. I don't think we do, actually. So let's do a Hermes boon. Why not? Even if I'm wrong, Hermes boons are very good defensively. Good utility. Yeah, I don't know if we're not taking damage when we're dashing through them like this, if it's because of the shield. Because almost every other weapon except maybe the sword. I guess I just realized too, I could be using my cast. My cast would probably one-shot these. It's fine. Wait. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, that hadn't even occurred to me. That's usually what I use, isn't it? Oops. Ah, well, we're still doing okay. Alright, God Gauge automatically. Ooh, Side Hustle's really good for even this late in, very helpful. You know what, we'll do this. Free Darkness, let's get that legendary upgrade up.
You shall pay for that.
Will I? Ow. Something's chucking... Oh no, it's just an archer. Oh gosh, I don't want that archer to come back. Okay, not the fastest, but we still got 102 darkness. If we took... I don't know how much damage we took there, but if we took any, it wasn't a whole lot. Pomegranate or money? Let's go pomegranate here. We now have Side Hustle, one of my favorite Hermes boons, because you get so many short rooms right in a row on the 4th floor that even though the prices spike on that 4th floor, it makes it so easy to get enough money to buy boons there. And we'll casually just rack up some money as we're going here too. Yeah, let's not forget to block some of this damage here if we can. Not bad.
Delicious.
One more damage. Yep. Yep. Pretty much. That's... You could argue that... and maybe it is more damage at this point to go for Zeus. Let's try another Daedalus Hammer. Again, I'm not the biggest fan, but might as well grab him, you know? Because I know I haven't grabbed even close to all of the ones on the shield. But the Dash Strike one is the one that, like... if I'm going to grab one, it's obviously going to be that one. Okay, so special deals extra foes when we catch it, bull rush charges up, both of those are okay. Let's just grab this one. After blocking foe, gain 20% damage and movement speed. I'm not doing that really, and I'm not going to worry about doing it. It's more just now I picked that up at least once, you know? I don't really want another Zeus boon. Don't really need another Athena boon. Good. See if we can't get more ticking damage. Oh, we have to fight. Okay. This is dangerous, as always. But it does weaken Asterius in the actual Asterius-Theseus fight, so even if we take some damage here, it could save us some later, because it lets us get rid of the bull faster, you know? So that's less time we have to fight him and Theseus at the same time. Ooh, took a hit there. That's fine. Look at all the damage we've done, though. The problem with things like Zeus and having a bunch of lightnings, I swear I can't tell where anything is half the time. But we only took one hit there, and that much health that he has left, right there, I think is how much health we knock off. It's not a whole lot, but again, it helps.
In the name of Hades.
Alright, special. Hangover inflicted foes, inflicted on other foes. Okay, that's cool. This would have been an upgrade to special, but I'm going to try that. Pure pressure. That's maybe not a good thing to say. They're in the hangover state, so they peer pressured everyone else, but that basically makes it where, yeah, we're gonna spread the stacks. Could make it easier. I don't know how much that'll help in the Hades fight or the like Theseus Minotaur fight, but that's still just, again, free damage, you know? And we're already focused really heavily on just applying those stacks. Ow. So, not a big deal. We are taking more damage here than I would like. That's just part of life sometimes. I think there were enemies on the other side. I think there it is. These shield enemies are really annoying for sure. I just get to the point where I just start dashing through them and just hammering away at them. Alright, hi Hermes. I think the only god we're still at 1 affinity with is Poseidon. I actually really like this one. That's not bad either. After using Call, gain dodge chance, 30% dodge chance, and some move speed. But I like quick recovery. Every time you take damage, I'm dashing so much, I take a bit of shit damage. I heal a bit of shit damage, you know? That's the logic behind that, dude. Ooh. This, yeah, I was gonna say, that was a good chance for me to block and get that buff from our Dadless Hammer. Again, I don't think I'm gonna worry about using that. It can be helpful. It would be more helpful if it was like an instant, you hold it, you block. It's just not. Which is why I just don't worry about using stuff like that a whole lot. It was mostly, again, just pick it up so I've picked it up at least once. There are bounties for having picked up every Dadless perk. Just like there are, you know, ones for having picked up every Gods perk, which we've slowly been completing. I'm surprised it took us a while. I think Athena was like the 3rd or 4th one we completed, even though Athena was sitting at just 1 boon left for quite some time. So that's not doing a whole lot. Let's do the cast. A little bit of extra burst damage. Doesn't hurt. Nothing there I was super in love with. We can go for a lot of healing here. Or another Nectar. I'm going to be greedy and go for Nectar here. But we had that boon one time earlier where it heals us for like 30% of our max HP from the other guy. Very, very helpful. Whereas here, you know, if anything, we're likely to just lose some health. But the Nectar is what we need to upgrade. And we're getting to the point where we can kind of just willy-nilly give them to any god. At least for now, you know. Because I still have no idea if we need to prioritize certain gods, or if it literally just means raise affinity with all the gods. Or if it means max out affinity with a few gods. Could not tell you, because I don't know. And that's one of those things that I could research, and I might eventually, but I don't like to spoil myself on. Is this health? We'll do it. Extra money. It's just a bunch of... okay. Do you saw how fast we were able to get all the stacks on when we just charged attack with our extra dash attack damage and such? Straight through all the enemies. Apply the ticking stacks to all of them. Makes it very easy. Oh, that trap didn't go off. Yeah, I guess everyone in Elysium is meant to be like some kind of hero, so... that's maybe not a fair an unfair expectation. Yeah, we're buying everything here. Special at this point. No, I'm gonna grab extra Gauntlet Cage. I was about to say at this point I could go for that. One more stack on base attacks. Very nice. Alright. Time to fight Asterius and Theseus.
These two.
You challenge us to battle, Hellspawn.
Let's do it. Oop. Yeah, it's really easy to apply Hangover Sack. I usually don't try to. I always mention this lower them evenly. But I'm a little bit less worried about it in this case. He just... okay, no, I thought he blocked Batty's attack there for a second. I was about to be kind of sad. We will go for a max Zeus bar, I think, here. We'll have just enough that'll help us finish off Theseus for sure. Alright, come on, Asterius. Might as well get some stacks onto Theseus, but Minotaur's almost dead. And not a minute too soon, honestly, because now Theseus has his call. We still don't have a special upgrade. I've had multiple opportunities, it just hasn't appealed to me, so I haven't done it. Let's just finish this fight if we can. We should still hear the full with their fountain. That was a pretty clean fight, honestly. Although, again, you gotta consider, we had 5 free hits with the Acorn. Who knows how much damage that would have been.
I shall stop you by my own hand if I must.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Let's try... oh, you know, we learned Palm Blossom wasn't counting every mini encounter for that one like other things do. We could just increase this. I kind of want to just equip one that we haven't equipped here. That could be a little bit helpful in the Hades fight, maybe. Yeah, we'll try Black Shawl. Wait, no, we've already equipped. Oops. I was gonna go... Well, I was meaning to get one that I hadn't tried before. I've tried Black Shawl before. It still helps, though. Extra damage to undamaged foes, and I believe from behind. Lets us get rid of those little flaming skulls a little bit faster. Shouldn't be a huge concern, but, you know, it's not nothing. I just don't think we need the defensiveness with full everything we've got, you know? I think maybe I've been too cautious when it comes to doing that.
That's quite a stash there, Charon.
I don't want to do this because I have no guarantee that it won't get rid of my dashing wall up, and I quite like my dashing wall up. Duo. I didn't expect these two to have a duo. Foes range attack projectiles are slower. Okay. I didn't even look at the other hangover effects because I knew I wanted to try the new duo. I'd never seen those two together before. Pomegranate, sure.
Here goes.
I don't know what max level is on a given ability. I think 6 is the highest I've ever had. Mostly because at that point I'm like, let's invest in damage in something else. But you gotta consider, our basic attacks are flicking 11 damage stacks that tick every 0.5 seconds. That we can stack up to like 5 times. So, pretty powerful. Oh, I just ran through that trap twice. As you can see, we're getting like 13 gold or so, I think it is, every room. Yeah, 13. Super powerful. It's why that side hustle perk, I swear, is just super powerful. Not just, you know, because obviously it's not a whole lot by itself. Gold isn't. But the potential of being able to buy an extra boon or two, extra pomegranate, something like that, just because of that, is very high. Oh, I dashed straight into that. Oops. Ooh, these things. Yeah, these things when they have a shield are way more annoying than when they don't. Just because it's harder to stagger them. And as a result, as a result, we take some more damage. I don't know how we didn't trip that trap a few times. I feel like I stood right on that square multiple times.
There we go. Gods grant me strength.
Faster god gauge. Yeah, we'll just do cash damage. Nothing there was like super important. Free DPS is free DPS though.
Just what I need.
No. Yeah, we'll just upgrade Zeus's aid twice. That's what's nice about those pomegranates too, is they upgrade twice. Was that there the entire time? I didn't even see that.
Come on up.
Another scupper? Just free resources. That's all fishing is. Free resources. We don't have another reroll. You know, let's get extra max health. We have way above what I usually consider necessary. But we also didn't give ourselves our 5 buffers, so, you know, why not? Ooh, let's not stand in the corner with that poison. We can deflect these saw blades, but I kind of like to let them just go and hit enemies, honestly.
Can't do that.
Nice. Okay, it's Dog Treat.
There it is already.
We could go for another Zeus boon, in all honesty, without a whole lot of risk. That was the other boon on non-boss. That would also, well, that probably wouldn't give us enough gold, even with side hustle, to get that Athena boon. I think we're okay to just go. I really can't imagine that we're in a position where we need to get those extra boons to clear the run here. Hades.
It's kind of nice out here.
Uh-huh.
I shall give you no.
Try eating my granola bar. Oh, yeah, we didn't take our buffer, and you can see that does hurt a bit, but... and by a bit, I mean quite a bit. But honestly, we're doing, like, very clearly way more DPS than we did last run.
Heed now my summons, wretches, and come bring my wayward son down
Ooh, not a fan of him summoning these. These things are meant to be like glass cannons that just do a bunch of AoE. And I swear I get hit by it every time. Ow. Greater Call already is interesting. A lot of damage already is not so good, but... Why are you summoning so many things this time, Hades? I'm terrified of seeing Hades with extra, like, boss abilities, if that's a thing. I don't know if it just goes up through Theseus and the Minotaur for that heat increase, but I think that could be really scary, actually. Ooh, I never timed that quite right. It looks like he does shed his, I actually didn't notice that before. It looks like he sheds his hangover stacks when he goes, invisible.
Let's finish this then.
But we still have all three of our death divides going into the second phase. We should be fine. Even if we just start taking a ton of damage here. We are at the point where I'm just trying to end this fight ASAP. No reason to make it take longer if we don't need to. Ow. Oh, I thought he was about to laser. Ow. That's one death-fied. I'm just gonna get in there. Like, honestly, let's just... Yeah, you can sit there and summon your stuff, like... Oh! I don't want to get stuck there, though. Uh-oh. I wonder if I can deflect these laser beams. Something tells me I shouldn't check. Even though I have the health to do it, obviously. Something tells me... You know what? I'm gonna leave him unless the hangover... Okay. I was about to say, I'm gonna leave him alive, but our ticking damage was a little bit too strong. Yeah, that was a decent build. We could have obviously done it way safer. Kind of backed off, let the dot stacks tick. But overall, not bad. 21, 22-ish minute win. Our fastest win on the shield was... Oh, that was our fastest win on the shield, apparently. Our fastest time ever was on the blade. Not surprising, honestly. I think a good blade run is very, very, like, super powerful. Not super hard to build. But it also has the disadvantage of not having a whole lot of range. But I like the shield. The weapons that concern me are the gauntlets and the bow.
I'm back.
I have those. Okay, Achilles is in here. I'm still surprised. Maybe I can't tell.
That you've collected earnings based on some of your accomplishments.
Why,
Come on.
bounties that you've offered up to anybody capable of beating Meg and all your other guardians out there.
Huh.
Don't you think that puts a lot of undue pressure on them, knowing that you've turned them into targets?
That is a fair point.
Better than they have, else they shall be replaced. If they're to
Oh, that's the excuse. We put a lot of pressure on them so that they grow.
and so do I. That you collect.
What about the bounties for vanquishing you? Who's your
Sure.
replacement going to be?
Probably Zagreus. If that ever happens, you know. This is tough. Dark Thirst also gives extra gemstones, not concerned about that. So we could go for when we're forced into a gemstone chamber, we either get a little bit of extra cash or get free gemstones. Again, maybe we'll go for this. Because at this point, the gemstones really are just for free upgrades. I'm going to put the Aphrodite boaster up just because I think it's hilarious that's an option.
They're my bed chambers. I can have whatever wall scrolls I want.
Hey, they're my bed chambers. I can put whatever I want. That's actually really funny. Wall scroll Achilles. Surely he'd have one of Achilles. You know, Achilles is like his big mentor.
Chamber walls, they might as well not be completely barren.
Why don't you clean your chambers rather than adorn them?
We could. Well, you can put a lyre. Maybe I'll do that eventually. You want a rug? Sure. You want a rug in the lounge?
Here you go.
Did we already have one?
The lounge decor.
We have one right there at the entrance.
Done to my floor surfaces.
Oh, it's a different one. What do you mean? It makes it more homey.
Say, Orpheus, Eurydice told me your songs, some of them came from her. She seems quite brilliant. You choose your muse as well.
Nice.
I owe my everything to my Eurydice. She authored many of my songs indeed. And she inspired many, many more. Whilst living, we collaborated frequently, you see.
Honestly, though, like when you do vocals and stuff, doing things with the duet is really, really fun. Super fun.
Famous one. I don't understand why she doesn't share your renown.
She was...
I fear.
Huh.
I always sang her praises every chance I had.
Huh.
And she asserted herself splendidly. Yet even still, our listeners believed our songs, they came from me.
What else could I have done? You could have tried. I mean, he obviously tried. He's not... You could argue there's like the whole... Back then, there wouldn't have been the technology to spread that knowledge around. And I think also Orpheus is... The fact that he even tried to say things, you know, sing her praises. He seems like a timid person.
Exactly know the way
So.
mortals, mate. But I'm pleased to hear you always giving credit where it's due.
Yeah. And Orpheus very clearly does talk about her every chance he gets.
You sure that you're alright with everything? I wouldn't want you to be caught up in the middle of all this. If you so much as said to call it off.
No, Meg, no, Meg, come on, no.
Did Dusa somehow figure out...
I couldn't be happier about it, really.
Did she somehow figure out about
Yourself, right?
our relationship with Meg?
You, Dusa. You've always been so kind. I don't quite know what to say.
Hey, now, that's my line. Look,
Oh.
though, I better get going, but I just want to say this is great news, all right?
Oh, she told her.
You're right. And same to you.
I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. Maybe it isn't, but that's what I would have to assume. Some gemstones. Well, we have 4 nectar, so we could give them to people in the house. My thought is, though, even though you're guaranteed to find god boons every single run, you're never guaranteed to find specific gods, as evidenced by the fact that we didn't see Athena like at all last stream, and we haven't been seeing Poseidon this stream. So let's just save the nectar, keep giving them to gods. I will give one to Nyx, though. I like Nyx.
Honor me, my child, although I dread that I am not deserving of such generosity. There is no need to flatter me like this.
Be that as it may.
I appreciate
I would
Nyx.
still like for you to have it. With my compliments.
Zacharias is always such a sweet talker.
Nyx, I would have you know, I'm now proud owner of my very own chthonic companion.
Yeah.
He really built them to last. Just
That I keep forgetting to use. It reminds me to use them in fights that I'm not going to use it for, and then I forget to use it in fights that I'm actually going to.
And it pleases me. Though you never would have simply discovered such a thing. They each are unique artifacts that must be given willingly if they are to retain their shape and power.
I have
So you
to
can't
say,
take
and
them.
I do mean this as a compliment.
If we're we are talking about the pets, right?
Incarnate herself fashioning these little keepsakes to be given between friends.
Do not mistake them for their unassuming look.
Unless they're talking about the keepsake
The strength
themselves.
of an unbreaking bond between two souls conjoined.
And I just adore them.
Fair enough. Either way, if they're talking about the pets or the keepsakes, they're helpful either way, you know? But now we're up to a whopping 4% chance for legendary.
Felt that, I think.
Pretty nice. Honestly, pretty nice. There's my Achilles poster. There's my... Yep. Fair enough, hey, Zagreus. You know, that's... Yeah. It wants us to do gun again. I don't want to keep progressing with the gun when I haven't progressed with other weapons. I think what I'm going to do instead here is either spear or sword. The spear has grown on me over time. I had a good chunk of time where I really didn't like it. The spear has grown on me. So, you know what? We'll see. We still might lose, but the spear, like I said. Special damage, range, and speed. Post-rush bonus. Yeah, none of those actually seem terrible. It's just a different playstyle for each one. So here, what do we want to start with? Let's start with Poseidon's. We haven't been seeing Poseidon. Might as well start with Poseidon's, you know? He's the last god I'm pretty sure that we have at 0. Oh, we have to go to rank 3 on that. Okay. In that case, we take off the timer, and we go up to extra new arena on the Hydra. I don't know if we'll win this run, but we're going to give it a try. As always. We're not going to pick a fight with Charon. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It gives us the hammer, even though we specifically went for a boon for that. So, your special deals 400% damage to armor. I do like the extra range on attack and extra damage to distant foes. As well as triple. I actually like all of these. We're going to do that, and we'll just try to use our special to knock off armor. All of those would have been helpful, though. In all honesty. And immediate chaos, okay. We'll see how that goes. But the extra range and the triple stab are both very, very helpful. Makes your attacks all just more accessible to hitting enemies. Alright. More foes for better chance on... Ooh, that's... one every time you cast. I'm just gonna go for the max health here. Extra damage from behind would be good, but I like getting gold. And extra foes is just kind of a pain. But all of those would have been helpful, honestly. None of them were bad. And to be fair, I went with the only one that wasn't rare, so that could have maybe not been the correct choice, but eh. Listen, none of those really were, like, stood out to me as, oh, that wouldn't be helpful. I already forgot about the casting. I, like, immediately used it and took damage. Oops. That's okay. Alright, just don't cast for 2 more rooms. All we gotta remember. We took like 8 damage there because I forgot immediately. It's funny that our next rune was supposed to be Poseidon. And this is like the 3rd room in a row that we haven't even seen Poseidon in. We also went for a perk that gives us extra damage on armor and then didn't see any armor. Though I don't think armor is as common in the first floor, and I do think that's a good investment boon. Is this our Poseidon boon? Finally. Yeah, I still like... The spear is one of those weapons that I just still don't know exactly what the condition is for winning. Rocket spear is fun, but unlike rockets on the gun, I don't actually think it's a full-on, like, I level up that, I win type of thing, you know?
Uncle Poseidon, this here is for you. Would that my father were as easygoing as yourself.
Nice. Poseidon is very easygoing in this one. I'll just add it to the pile. Fair enough. Attack and knockback, cast knockback, dash knockback. You know what? We'll try it. As always, if nothing else, like I say, we invest into an attack perk early. Any pomegranates, we can stick into that, and then if we get something better, just switch it then. I've been really wary of adding knockback to my melee attacks because I'm worried that that would make it harder to hit them. Which I don't think is an inaccurate thing to say. But, eh. We'll try it. Can we buy here? Can we buy a little bit of healing? Another Chaos Gate. Ooh, that's really tempting. And we'll buy some health then, because we do have to give health to go into the Chaos Gate. But we've already gotten that for the, what is it, extra max health. Don't need to worry about casting anymore. Let's go for this, maybe. This is immediately an enemy that, yeah, look at that damage to, wow, we tore through this elite's enemy so fast because of that. That's crazy nice. That's the 400% damage to armor, though. I didn't see the option to... Okay, whenever you cast, do that. We could try this. I just don't like this one very much. We've done this... You know, we'll try the call. We haven't tried it today. Might as well. We don't need to worry too much about damage output because we don't have a timer on ourselves here. But 2 Chaos Boons early. Pretty nice.
Might as well.
We are missing a fair chunk of health, but not the biggest concern.
Well then, in the name of Hades.
Alrighty. I know I said what I said about the money, but let's do that. No gold isn't a huge penance, because this is probably one that's going to last to the boss you have to consider. And that's just free attack damage. I didn't want to do it earlier. I didn't really want to do it now. But, eh. Good thing that we bought that healing temporary bonus too. It's always helpful to get free healing. Especially when you give up so much. Ooh, and when there's so many enemies spawning, you know? When you buy something that's a chance for, you know, something to happen on drop. We got basic attack increase, good. Okay, well, it's about time. We could have altered the reward here. I want to see, though, if we just don't get the gold. I've never actually... I legitimately don't think I've ever tried that. Where, we can't earn gold because of a Chaos Boon, but the actual chamber reward is gold. If we don't, it's going to be real awkward, because then I should have rerolled it, but for science, you know? One of those things that, like, I have to know. Alright, 110 gold. That is good to know. Not sure what I expected, but that is good to know. So that does include chamber rewards. Oh well.
If I could take a minute of your time.
To be fair, that's the point. Aside from us keeping Persephone's presence in the underworld hidden, the entire point of us continuing to escape is, quote-unquote, help make things... It's one of those, like... I've heard you can... I know my dad talked about it because someone my aunt knew. But there are people who are literally paid to learn programming and such, and then they're paid to try and hack into people's, like, databases and such. For the entire reason of what better way of... It's like, you know, game testers or stuff like that, almost. What better way to tell what weaknesses there are in, like, your cybersecurity and such than having someone intentionally try to get into it. I always thought that was interesting. Not exactly the type of job for me, but, you know, I always thought that was interesting.
No more buffoonery.
What's this? Yeah, free money. We no longer have that debuff, so we actually can make up some of that money. Oh. Ah, that was loud. I have this Windows PowerShell thing still that keeps... I keep turning it off and it keeps popping up with automatic notifications. It's really annoying. We have an okay amount of max health. Let's go for a pomegranate here. I'd like a little bit more, but there's time for that. But yeah, we tear through armor really fast with our special now, even with no other upgrades. That's, like, really nice. Doesn't do that much damage otherwise, but even with no upgrades, imagine with like an upgrade or two how much damage that'll do. Not too much attack upgrade. I'm gonna go for the max health here. We'll save the money. I do think the next fight is the first boss. Yeah, when it's free, I'm pretty sure it's just straight up. Yeah, that's fine. We could have bought a boon there, which is what I usually like to do. But in this case, let's get some max health. It's Electo. Okay.
Come on, Electo. When was the last time that we...
You know, fair point there.
The problem with Electo is it's dangerous to stay close to any of the Furies. But Electo gets that rage bar, and then she summons a bunch of her little spinning blades. Not a fan, honestly. Oh gosh. Electo's attacks themselves, though, aside from the spinning blades, aren't actually too bad to dodge, I wouldn't say. But we have to keep the pressure up on her so she doesn't get that rage bar. I've learned my lesson with, like, the bow. If you don't just keep pressuring her, she'll still summon some automatically, like you can see here. But I've had her summon, like, 4 or 5 if we leave her too much alone. That darkness is really annoying. But honestly, we didn't take too much damage there. We took a chunk, but not bad.
Get out. Rafa shuddered just now.
More Titan Blood. I'm kind of saving my Titan Blood once again for the hidden ones. I don't know how we unlock the hidden ones. Maybe it's from upgrading the other ones, so maybe I should just upgrade a weapon now that I think about it.
Which to choose?
So, at this point, the only god one I think we haven't taken is Ares. No, we've taken Ares. 25 encounters. So the only god we haven't taken an automatic one of is Athena. Let's do... Well, no, we can do that on another run, actually. What else do we want to try? Taking damage, become impervious to damage. That could be really good, actually, when you consider how much we run into lava. Ensure a fishing point will spawn. That's interesting. Not necessary, but it's free resources. So. Alrighty. Another chaos. Well, there's our Ares. But, like, come on. It's a third chaos perk at the beginning of the second floor. Well, we're gonna go for it.
In the name of Hades.
Alright, every time I attack... No. No, I don't like that one. Take extra damage from traps, afterwards dash strike deals more damage. Or lower max health. I'm actually going to do the extra dash strike damage, because that's a higher multiplier than just the attack, and it's not like we stand still and attack. I do believe traps includes the lava, though, so we need to be really careful not to step in lava. Which, you know, not my strong suit. Ow. I said, oh! Yeah, that was noticeable. I think that was ticking for like 5 damage each time. The knockback at least can push these enemies into lava. That's something. Not my favorite thing in the world, honestly, but it's something. Gotta look on the bright side. And we do only have this debuff for 3 rooms. So, oh, we got Athena anyways. Athena or Hermes, though? Both are good. I'm actually gonna go for Hermes. Dash Deflect, cannot talk enough about it, but Hermes generally has better defensive perks aside from that, so. And I'm honestly not too impressed with, like, the other Athena perks aside from that one, so. Again, both of them, they're both very defensively oriented perks, to be fair, so. Yeah, this little debuff for 3 rooms is also a good sign of, like, what it'll be like if we take the 400% damage from traps debuff, which is, even stepping on the lava for a little bit really hurts. But, it seems somewhat manageable. Especially as we're, like, you know, trying to be careful. Ooh, quote-unquote try, as I just, ooh, run on a lot more damage. Fine. Okay. Oh, I didn't know this was alive still. Ooh, okay. Took a lot of damage there. Specialist faster. After using call, gain dodge chance and move speed. God gauge charge. I like the automatic God gauge. Even if it's only a little bit, it's helpful. Demeter or Dionysus? We had a really good run with Dionysus last time. So let's go with Demeter. I didn't have the option to give her a Nectar last time. I'm not sure if that means we have like a quest or something to do, or need dialogues. Because to be fair, I think with Meg for a while we had to exhaust dialogues, didn't we? We do take extra damage from traps here, so we just need to be careful not to run into these. Ah! I was so busy talking about not running into them that I ran straight into it and then dashed into the wall. Oh, that's really awkward. That did like 35 damage too. That hurt. Jeez, that is really awkward though. We may want to go into our next shop because we have a good chunk of money just to buy some healing. Because there's no guarantee. We do have the renovations for fountains, but we still don't see fountains very often. Yeah, we did have 3 charges of Demeter there. I just didn't think of it. But yeah, let me see. Yeah, it is locked behind probably accepting more boons. So it's good that we went for Demeter anyways. Attack is stronger and inflicts chill. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh. Ah, that's tough. That's really tough. I'm going to go for the damage here, but we do need the health, and that would have been an opportunity to get the health back. But I just... It's this, in my opinion, after the charm, the second best basic attack upgrade. Oh, and we can probably just buy some health here. That or some healing upgrades is usually the options presented to us from that. Oh, I dashed straight into that. Oops. Okay, I need to stop getting hit by that. Oh. Okay, way more damage there than I would have liked, but what kind of healing do we have here? Gain max life without restoring it. That's helpful. Not what I was looking for, admittedly, but okay, I'm not gonna fight for that. Nectar or 2 gems. We're going for Nectar. We haven't been using it a whole lot. Maybe we should start giving to other gods or people in the underworld. Again, I just see the whole gain favor with Olympian gods, and I assume which ones it is. I don't actually know, though. But we need to be careful. Losing a Death Defied wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world, but it doesn't mean I want to on Asphodel. You know? Not exactly what I'm looking to do. Ooh, that's a lot of Medusas. And by a lot, apparently, too. I thought I saw another one in the corner. They're just dangerous with enemies like the bomb chuckers. Because if we get petrified at a bad time, could be bad. Hey, we leveled up our basic attack. We really don't have any boons. This is another weird room where we don't have a whole lot. I'm going to go to the shop here. Try and buy some health as well as a boon. I don't know if we've gone far enough. We probably have for it to be the Hydra next anyways. So... yeah, it's Hydra. Okay.
I'll take it.
Cast seeks foes. Okay. Dash strike dealing more damage would have been good too, but I kind of just saw the cast one and went for it without even thinking. We might lose a death to fight the Hydra here, though. We don't have much health. Oh, and it's in the special arena.
We always fight like this, Lernie.
To be fair, it's Lernie's job to be here. We're just kind of showing up and picking a fight with it. Alright, I don't have a... With the other ones, I'm... oh, gosh. With the other ones, I'm pretty sure we're like everything spawns in the other arena. In this arena, I still haven't figured it out. Gotta be careful. Oh, I didn't dodge that. Oops. I'm just gonna stay here and stab it, though. Luckily, we do have our Demeters here. Oh gosh, stop that. We can just kind of leave our calls here too. A little bit. That wasn't a good place to place it, though. Oh my gosh, I'm taking so much damage. Alright, 10 health. If we're careful... okay, that's not being careful, running straight into that. Dang it. There's a death divide. I haven't used one on the Hydra in a while. To be fair, this is... we've only done this arena, like, what? Once or twice, but that's not ideal. It is what it is, though. Hopefully we won't use one on Theseus and Minotaur. Worst comes to worst, we're just gonna take the extra revive or something like that. To be safe, though, I'm going to take the Acorn for the last two floors, probably. Just to make sure that we don't have to run the risk of taking too much extra damage on the boss fight. And there's a chance we can restore Death Defied either through 200 money on a shop / cauldron or from the NPC here. Which at this point I probably would do. Is that a hammer? Yeah, hammer. We'll take another hammer perk. I think the spear ones are definitely high value. That said, though, to only have like 6 boons here, pretty crazy. Like, I don't think I've had this few boons going into this floor in a hot second. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. We have a level 4 epic frost thing. Frost basic attack, sorry. thing. We have Seeking Cast, which even if it's not a whole lot of damage because it's only rare, Seeking Cast is nice. Like, we don't have nothing helpful. So special deals extra damage. Dash strike hit 3 times, hold special. We'll do just the extra special ones. Not actually what I was looking for there, but I'm just gonna make a mad rush probably for some boons here. Just because, again, we don't have a whole lot. And there comes a point where you just want to have a bunch, you know? We also gained that critical chance, apparently, on recovery of the spear. So that could be actually really good. If we had invested more into Artemis for crits, you know, that's where I think stuff like that really shines. But free crit chance still doesn't hurt. Oh, I thought I was going to get hit by that one. Whew. And you know what? Like I was saying, at this point, everyone's at least 2. Let's get everyone to... I meant to hit G. It's fine. Side hustle's good. The sturdy would have been really good as well. But I want to... that's going to allow us to buy more stuff on the last floor. This will solve some of our low boon problems. Might hurt our health a little bit, but... Alright, special, stronger, inflict, chill. Let's grab this. Nope, this is helpful. With our basic attacks, we're going to have max stacks of chill quite often. Defensive play wouldn't have been bad, but come on, that's really good there. None of the gods like it when we choose them over, but they give us the choice, so we don't if you force us to make a choice, you know, we're gonna have to choose someone. And as always, I don't like fighting. When you choose against, like, we got hit by that wave there. When you choose against Demeter, she gives you those circles from, like, our call. And it's very annoying. So is taking a bunch of damage from... Oh, we're taking a ton of damage here. Ow. Way more than I thought I was going to, actually. What the... Oh, there's an archer somewhere up there. I was wondering. That is pretty annoying, honestly. Oh, gosh. I took way more damage there than I would have liked. Alright, Dash God did charge it up faster. We haven't taken this, so we'll take it. I was gonna go for that. I'm not gonna go for it now. I don't want to give up extra health and take the debuff for right now. I'm gonna heal here, and I'm gonna take the max health. We have so much max health that it's probably a bit overkill. And we'll go for an Ares boon here. It is an elite, but should be fine. Oh, it's a... Yeah, it's Asterius. Hopefully we don't take too many hits here. He always gets so offended about the height thing. Like, I don't know why he does, too. The bull is quite literally, like, way taller than anyone else. Ow. You know what? I will summon him out of here. Maybe I should have waited till second phase to do it, but... It reminded me about it, so I was like, eh. Is it really not in the second phase yet? I'm just kind of poking at the bull because I thought it was going to go into second phase. There it is. Our Paul actually inflicts our 10 stacks really fast as well. It's only 80 damage when we inflict max stacks, and it does consume the stacks. But that's still quite a bit of free burst. And again, you have to consider, we have multiple ways. When it's on our basic attack, the ability to apply chill is pretty easy.
Until next time, sir.
Do I want to give one to Ares? Oh, Ares was still at level 1. In that case, yeah.
Lord Ares.
Very nice. Dash creates a blast rift. That's just a... Okay. So we've already used Death Defiance, so in theory that's just a 22% damage increase, right? Unless it has to be... I don't know, actually. Either way, we'll probably use at least one. Oh, that archer ran straight into the arrow. I was wondering what broke its armor immediately. I need to be careful, though. These archers, I think they're what did a lot of damage to us during the Poseidon encounter. So, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit cautious. Because we're already missing a Death Defied. We've taken way more damage than we usually do here. Ow. More enemies. Some of these rooms have so many enemies in them. Oh, they're firing a lot of arrows at us. Ah, stop that. Yeah, that was quite a bit of enemies for this, I ran straight into that. This run just hasn't been good, not because the build isn't okay, it's because I'm just running into damage all the time. You know what the remedy is for running into damage? More max health, I suppose. Ooh, and a fountain. Perfect. Nice. Healed us to full. Maybe it wasn't necessary. A pomegranate could have been really good. But, like, if nothing else, you know? Let's get a bunch of max health. I'm really hoping to see the guy that restores our Death Defieds. If not, let's try and hold on to 200 money, maybe. I don't know what the answer here is, honestly. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff going on. I'm glad at least with the number, with the amount of projectiles these things throw out. No, we're not gonna go for more max health here. Okay, so that means we won't be able to restore our Death Defied. I'm just gonna go for another Demeter perk here.
I'll pay for that.
Especially stronger and inflicts chill. Healing effects are more potent. We don't need that right now.
Ice cold.
So now we finally have a buff on our special. What do you mean, you?
What do you even...
Alright, Asterius is already weakened a bit. And now we have the ability to apply chill on like so much stuff. It's actually kind of crazy. Ah, dang it. Yeah. That hit... Okay, it didn't hit Theseus. That's fine. I really wish I could use Batty more than once in a room, though. Ah, gosh. Okay, that's a bunch of her deflects down to Theseus's stuff. Oh my gosh. Please, well, there's all the resists out. Oh my gosh, I'm losing so much health. And by so much, apparently only like 43, but still. Alright, time the Greater Call right in the middle. Nice, it hit both of them. That'll finish off the Minotaur. Let's start working on Theseus. I don't know if I can get another Greater Call here. It depends on how much damage I take, actually. I'm just gonna... Yeah, we'll just start using the basic one here. Oh, I got Zeus this time. Ow. Just walked out of me, probably. Alright, you should go down here in just a second. Nice. We took a lot of damage there, but we did not lose the Death Defied, which is what I was most scared of.
Finally. Very nice.
Alright, let's keep moving. Good chunk of healing here, 116, not bad. I'm gonna keep the Acorn. I think with how much max health we have, 5 free hits, as opposed to a 100 revive, is probably going to be more worth it. That's what I would have liked to do. We have 3 uses of Batty, but if we can only use one on Hades, I don't know, we'll make full value out of that. I think we can complete this run pretty safely. We'll just have to be a little bit more cautious on Hades. Not our strongest suit, but I think it'll be okay. We have so much ability to apply Frost, though, which is pretty funny. Ares, I'm actually going to... Oh, I don't have any rerolls left. I was going to say I was going to reroll that. Let's go Palm, then. Upgrade our basic attacks, maybe.
Don't get in my way.
Oh gosh, I thought it ran back into that. Let's get maybe that. There we go. Need to be careful.
Poisoned at the moment, thanks.
But as always, we recover 3 health per room, so as long as we're not taking a bunch of damage in rooms, these short rooms can be used to get a little bit of health back, hopefully. And we have side hustle, so we get a bunch of money in between rooms, which is what I really love that perk for, so not too bad. Ooh, these things I don't want to ever let fire off their lasers, though. Luckily, they didn't have armor. Oh, poison's gonna start. We took a lot of poison damage there, oops. Fine. We do get a fountain at the end when we find the Cerberus treat, so there's always that. Use our spear here because it does extra armor damage. And it's a little bit safer. There we go. Look at how fast our call stacks up that Frost. Like that one cost call did the burst on max chill stacks like 3 times. How many more enemies are here? Well, apparently quite a few. That's not good. Ooh, I almost got poisoned there because I ran straight into that. I did get poisoned there. Dang it, where's the antidote? Oh, it wasn't up here. Oh, it was right here. Oh, I'm taking so much damage here. I'm really actually kind of worried about this Hades fight with the way I'm playing. Only 5% damage there, but... Yeah, I'm genuinely concerned.
Need to keep looking in those passageways. Better doing business.
Fire strike deals more damage. Exit wounds would have been good too. At this point. Oh, that actually really stinks. I shouldn't have spent the money on Artemis's boon there. I could have bought some health here, or maybe a Death Defied. I don't remember how much money we had, but can't now. I'm not even gonna... Well... yeah, that hurts a little bit. It's fine. That's just part of life sometimes. In fact, if anything, maybe I should just stand in the corner here. Or at least dash in the corner for the extra range. Yeah, so they can't come hit me. Alright. Ooh, already, huh? Well, how much does this heal me up to? 220? That's a tough one. I don't think I'm necessarily strong enough to win right now. But we could lose a lot of health. Let's go for the Poseidon boon. The logic being we should be able to bite that 150 Ares boon at the end also. And as long as we don't take too much damage here, it's probably worth it. Yeah, this is the... Aside from the run that we picked a fight with Charon, this is the first run today that I genuinely am like, I don't know if I can win. After the merit of... Our big merit this run is being able to just constantly apply chill over and over and over with every part of our kit. And then pop it for only 80 damage. And we unfortunately didn't get like a palm to... Oh, I ran into poison. We didn't get like a whole lot of palms for that specific boon. We got palms for a basic attack, which is nice, but... Here's to hoping that the actual fight for the Poseidon boon isn't that difficult. That could be a lifesaver. If that's, once again... Ow. If that's healing, or if it's Death Defied here, we can afford it. So... Okay, that's fine. I could upgrade the rarity of... You know what, that's... Yeah, we should still have enough money, in theory, to buy the Ares boon. So why not make the Poseidon one just a little bit stronger? I think at least we'll have enough. We could sell a boon here as well. I don't necessarily want to do that. But... I did not need to use that for those. It's fine. Ooh, I thought I ran straight into the poison there. I don't like the satyrs. The satyrs scare me. Stand behind it. Oh! I was about to say stand behind that, and then that thing started firing. Alright, nice. Overall, we actually got more health out of that. So, it worked out. You know, I'm just gonna get the sunken treasure here. Nothing else there was actually likely to be super, super helpful. That puts us up to full health. Lots of cash. Lots of gemstones, actually. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm trying to decide, do we want the Palm of Power? What we're really relying on is being able to consistently apply a ton of chill stacks, and then we're only popping it for, where is it? Wait, where is it? There it is, 80 damage. But there's no guarantee the Palm will go for that. I'm kind of tempted to... We can only get one. I'm not going to go for another room clear here, because we're at full health, and we are missing one Death Defied, so I don't want to risk losing health. What it comes down to is... I do genuinely think a Palm is probably more worth it. So 8% attack damage isn't bad. That's a lot of special damage, but we're not doing it a whole lot, so I'm just going to go for the level 7 attack. It's diminishing returns with extra... You know, a lot of extra levels up as you go on, but but I genuinely think that I'm going to use that 8% damage buff more than I'm going to use the spear damage. Might be wrong about that, but either way. Still free DPS.
The guardian of hell itself.
Glad we don't have to fight Cerberus. Yeah, 315 health here. Way more max health than we usually have, but it's kind of what the game offered to us. And it's kind of come at the cost of us not being super strong. So, we'll see how this goes. I think we'll be okay as long as we're a little bit more careful than usual. Because like last time, we just kind of ran in and took a ton of damage. We still won, but it was a little bit sketchy. Luckily, we also brought our acorn, so first 5 hits are negated. Doesn't mean want to be just using that willy-nilly though. Alright, where is he? Oh, that's one. Can I not hit this thing? That's unfortunate. Ooh, didn't dodge out of that. Dang it. Oh gosh. Okay. We want these skulls to not be sticking around, so. Yeah, we haven't taken damage yet, but we're almost out of, we're down to 2. Now we're down to 1 on our acorn hits. Actually, we just used all of them. Now we will actually be taking damage. A little bit dangerous. I think we'll be okay, though. It's a little unfortunate that our Greater Call didn't do a whole lot of damage to Hades because he went invuln for a sec. Oh, gosh. But I think we'll be okay. With how slow the fight's going, too, we'll probably get quite a few Greater Calls. Ordinarily not the biggest fan of Demeter's Call, but in this case it really suits the build, so can't be too sad about it. Alright, where is he? He's over here somewhere. Ow. Oh my gosh, both of those I saw coming and just was like, I'm gonna stand right in it, like a moron. Almost have a Greater Call. That should help us finish out the phase, though, and these enemies. Not like that. Okay. That did not do nearly as much damage to the enemies as I thought it might, if I'm being completely honest. Alright, come on. Oop, dang it. Alright, second phase, we still have both the Death Defies that we walked in here with. But, oh. There we go. Again, not super high DPS. And you consider we burned through all 5 of our acorns and some of this health, so. What's he doing? Oh, he summoned those a lot earlier, I think, than he normally does. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was a little bit scary. Did we have Great Call? Did I destroy that in time? Okay. This... Okay. I got scared and just used that, and then I ran into that. Okay, well, Demeter's Call. Yeah, it's not doing that much damage, even when it's popping the chill stacks. Though again, we have a level 1 common version of that. It's only 80 damage when we pop the, when we do pop those stacks. So not ideal, but again, it's free damage. I'll take it. Ooh, scary. Oh, get rid of those so we have cover. For that specific reason. Yeah, this has not been the cleanest run. by any means, but we're making it happen. Slowly but surely. Oh, he's doing it again, really? He doesn't usually do that many times in a row that fast. Ooh. Slowly clear these out. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about, though. I think eventually it's going to be less about trying to DPS mash this guy and more about just trying to be safe on higher, on higher heat levels. Because we're only doing like heat 2, heat 3 or so on most of our weapons. I think our gun's at... Oop, there's our first deathified. We're at 4, I believe, now on our gun. But ultimately, I think it's going to be more important, unless you're doing the time limit, of course, to just make sure that you don't, die. Woo! So we should be... Oh gosh, I didn't dash out of that. I think I can get another greater call, actually, if I don't use my call here. Okay, some more of those. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not... Okay, we're fine. Alright. Why is he doing that so much? That's actually kind of terrifying. Because if he gets stuck in those beams, we haven't been really hit by it. But with the ticking damage like that, those actually do a lot of damage if you get stuck in one of them. Oops. Okay. Okay. We made it happen. I will take it. That was a bit of a rough run, honestly. We haven't gone to... we didn't go to our last Death Defied, but it was definitely a little bit close. Hey, he actually admitted that we won. He doesn't do that very often, so we'll take our victories like that when we get them. Yeah, that was a 29-minute clear. Definitely way slower. But yeah, so far, I'm pretty sure we haven't just repeated a heat level on any weapon. So that would make me think we're on 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3. This was heat level 3 on the spear, but you also have to consider we only took the heats for heat level 3 that make the first and the second bosses harder. So the third and fourth floor were actually very much the same thing. And by far too hideous, it just means we get stabbed. And, well, not stabbed, but we die and get taken by the sticks. Unfortunate, but we don't really have a reason to get up there, aside from, of course, our security job and making sure, again, that the Olympians don't know Persephone's down here. I don't think most of them even knew that was the reason we were going for it. But, again, we don't want to put her in a bad situation. I'm actually going to give one to Achilles here, because I do predict that one of the pets is probably from him.
You really? I just happen to think you deserve better than you've got down here, Achilles.
I do too, actually.
Achilles, I've been meaning to ask you about the odd skeleton.
We still haven't figured out who summoned Skelly. Bit of a mystery.
A hireling, perhaps?
That one, Skelly, was it? We only met when all this business of escape began. If I have a connection to him, I'm unaware. Does he claim to know me?
Perhaps he's still in real life. I mean, Achilles did kill a lot of people.
So neither of us has any idea where he's from or how he got there, huh? Can you think of any leads? Nyx doesn't seem to know him either.
Yeah, it is curious.
Perhaps the gods of Olympus sent him to your aid?
I have a hard time... Yeah, I don't think he's related. I've wondered if maybe it's Chaos. Because it doesn't seem to be a... We haven't asked Hades. But I don't think he's connected to, like, anyone else. So, interesting.
And what of the complaints from Elysium? They wanted the lawns thoroughly manicured for the athletic contests.
Sounds very much like people like Theseus.
Though the flooding in Asphodel, that doesn't look like something we can clear up for quite some time. Fortunately, the residents seem to be
flooding in Asphodel is covered in lava, though, so that's a little bit terrifying.
Reports about it as of late. And what of the satyr problem? Blasted things are rampant up there still.
Well, they're probably contained up there, at least. And Zagreus has been keeping them in check, hasn't he?
Kind of? Hey, he admitted that we did something good. But I like that she's actually, you know, she's helping take care of stuff as she promised. She came back. She's kind of helping get things back in line. Very cool. Very, very cool. Might as well go for the extra money here, I think. Just because gemstones eventually, same thing with darkness and everything as well, to be fair, for the permanent upgrades. But gemstones have already very rapidly become what it feels like just visual updates, you know? So I'd rather not focus too hard on them. And we'll just collect them as we go. I want to get the ball for Cerberus. Honestly, I just want to get things for Cerberus here.
Orpheus, you said that it was one of life's injustices that Eurydice doesn't get her fair share of the credit for the songs she wrote. Isn't there something we can do?
It's a little bit late, to be fair, but...
my friend. Once people set their minds to certain things, it can be difficult to show them other possibilities exist.
That is fair.
What's to be done?
Once people get set in their ways, it's hard to change their minds.
Tell them they're wrong. Politely, perhaps not. Or tell them what's right. Get the word out about what's right. Can't we do that?
We could try.
Word out. But I am court musician of this house. My songs no longer reach too many ears. Although, I do suppose all of these shades about, they are my audience as well. I shall make certain that they know whose songs I sing.
There you go. That's wholesome.
Then word will spread.
I've been glad when we've come back, though, and Orpheus has been singing Eurydice songs. It's actually kind of touching.
What's for breakfast?
Discover. Okay, now we can buy the ball for Cerberus. Sure, I'll like that. Maybe keep him from tearing apart the rest of the castle too. Where is it? Here you go.
We'll go with this. Cerberus was never keen on playing ball, but on the other hand, he doesn't like a ball.
You like it? Hi, Nix.
I sense the growing darkness in you, child.
Is that a good thing? You say you're proud of me.
I'm so very proud of you. You always have been capable, yet now you seem to radiate with newfound power.
Well, that's good.
I'm getting somewhere, I guess.
I'm going to save the other 3 nectar we have, though, for the Olympians. We do appear to be at a point where we need to just get more conversations, which appears to be only 3 more. We did pick a ton of Demeter boons there, so that's probably part of it. But, and I don't know, but from this point on, let's keep working on the other gods. I think Zeus is a high priority. I don't know if literally any other of the gods are important. Again, I don't know if it's raise affinity to max with all the gods, if it's do it with certain people. I have no idea. I am starting to get to the point where maybe I'll look it up. I don't think that hurts. I don't want to look up, again, any spoilers. The only thing I've looked up for this game, literally since we started, was a couple strategies for the spear, because I was having a hard time at one point. But aside from that, I mean, everything else has been very much like a natural, hey, let's unlock this, hey, let's try this. So maybe we'll do one more session where we just give 2, let's try and max out maybe Zeus. I'm genuinely trying to think of what other gods might have an influence on things. Because if it's not maxing out Demeter, which we'll see once we get 3 more boons, and it's not maxing out Zeus, I don't know. I can't imagine Hermes matters a whole lot. Though I think he does know we are talking to Persephone. I can't imagine that affects a whole lot of things. And again, it keeps saying, raise your relationship with the Olympian gods. I don't know if that's get a certain number of hearts between all of them, or anything like that. That's one of my guesses. The other is max out certain gods. The thing is, though, Poseidon, Athena, Aphrodite, I also don't think is... Like, I could kind of see, like, Aphrodite, again, maybe Hermes, but Poseidon, Athena, Artemis, Ares, Dionysus, I can't see making a huge difference unless it's a collective heart total. Zeus makes sense. Demeter was my first guess because she's our grandma, she's Persephone's mother. And Aphrodite, I could loosely see it, and I could loosely see it with Hermes because it's the messenger who potentially knew what we were doing. And Aphrodite, because she's the goddess of love, maybe that's the connection we need. I don't know. But those are both stretches. I would assume Demeter followed by Zeus. And then we'll see. But these 2 were my first guesses. Again, Aphrodite and Hermes, I think, are very loosely based on what they know. And then the others, I can't imagine even have a loose connection in terms of things, you know? But I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine maybe Hades. It specifically says, and Hades is listed under chthonic gods is the issue. Apparently maxed out in his. But the Queen's Plan is specifically mentioned as Olympians. And Hades is an Olympian god in theory, I would say. But he's listed under chthonic gods. So that's, again, my thoughts here. Next time we'll try and max out Demeter stuff, see if that unlocks the heart. And we'll try to max out Zeus, see what that does. And then maybe these 2 would be my next thought. Because at this point, I don't think it's a collective heart gain. Because we're at 2 with every single god and higher with Demeter and Zeus. But that just remains to be seen. Again, lots of stuff to do in this game still. Still really enjoying this game. 5% on legendary chance. One last thing I wanted to check. was I had been saying, like I'd been kind of mentioning, I'd been saving upgrading all the aspects in case I needed to save some of our... We have 17 of the blood for this, but I'm kind of thinking maybe it's if you've maxed out all the other ones at this point, because we've done so much that I can't imagine what else we could do. I don't know which weapon. I feel like there was a weapon that I'd done multiple upgrades for. Maybe that's not the case. If it's not the case, I'm going to do it on the spear, because the spear is what I struggle the most with. Okay, no, I'd literally just done one level in all of them. In that case, the spear and the bow were what I've struggled with. The bow you can get away with because of the range, I think. So let's just... We didn't even have enough to max it out. That's surprising. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thought, though. I'm still going to probably do this. But that's the only other thing I could imagine for unlocking these aspect of question marks, is maxing it out completely. So, we'll keep on working with it. Maybe I should have done aspect of Hades. I could see myself maybe trying to do a spin attack build before I go for rushing to the spear. But extra damage after you rush it. I feel like that's going to get me caught in traps a lot. That's my only main concern. And if it's chucking the spear then rushing to it, you're not using the return jab as well. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Pretty decent stream again. We completely fell on our face that first run because of what happened with Charon. I still want to learn how to consistently win that fight, because I do think getting 300 gold immediately, even if it is only on the first floor and it's a tough fight, could be very, very valuable. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.